Alcan team are really good. They are very, very good teams. And I will go as far to say that Alcan and TM are the best Western teams, probably the two best Western teams that we have seen in terms of level of play from as objective as we can since Overwatch League, I want to say. Probably the best two. Are they meta dependent a little bit? Yeah, absolutely. But does that account for all their success? Absolutely not. These guys are freaking good, and they're really, really good. So they're also not just a team that's going to capitalize off of random meta shifts. They're just good. They're just good. They're just freaking good. They're just good. Like, Quartz is insane. Landon's insane. Kellex is insane, especially considering his competition, which is just horrific nowadays. Ziad, insane. Checkmate is insane. Funny Astro. I mean, you could just go down the list, right? So the both rosters are insane. So TVNT, Yubi, yep. Is it Simple, I believe? So all playing very well. So yeah, I'm not saying that they're the best. I'm saying historically, like, there's been other teams that have probably had higher peaks occasionally in the last couple of years, but these guys have just been consistently, Alcan team have just been consistently really, really, really good. So, okay, so let's take a look here. So the big thing is going to be the tank matchups and then the DPS. I think support is generally a little bit more straightforward. Maybe this is the exception to that rule, like this particular map. We have a Lucio ban, which definitely introduces some volatility because people don't really want to play Kiriko if they can't play Lucio. Kiriko is going to be more of your tank healer Suzu bot, while the Lucio is kind of controlling the off angles, depending on the map, depending on the situation. And then when you see the Lucio ban, you definitely open up more support combos depending on preference. So first things first is, I believe, is Crazy Raccoon the higher seed, so they get the map choice? I believe. So we've got a Lucio ban. I don't know if they get first ban here. So yeah, so they chose Busan, which is a heavy indictment of how Brawl pilled this current meta. Like Crazy Raccoon doesn't even try to go Ilios, which is like the low-hanging fruit here. And I believe they get the first ban too as well, I believe. But yeah, so Lucio ban, they're going to try to pull them away from their Curie Lucio comforts. They think that their support line is more flexible, and I would kind of agree with that to a lesser extent. Ramatra ban is just because Ziad is really freaking good at Diva. Diva does fine versus Ramatra, but absolutely you can pull things into your Diva pill. And as we already said, like, Ziad is going to be Ram Diva, but Ziad's specialty is Diva, and so why would you let Junbin play Ram? Like, let make Junbin play Diva or Ryan or Zarya or something goofy like that. And I believe the bans come after the hero pool has been, or the players have been chosen. So this Ram ban, I think, is a big deal from Alcad, and definitely going to be one that they're going to be wanting back if they don't win this map, because I think that Ziad's flexibility or Junbin's flexibility apart from Ram is maybe a little bit more limited in this current meta if Ball's not playable and Winston's not playable on the map. So you're going to really need to win this map. This is the one where it's like if they banned Diva, right? Like, you need to win this map. So they ban Lucio, they ban they pick the map, and then Alcad's like, all right, well, we have to win this map right here. You have to win this map. So, okay. I actually think that the Bastion pick is pretty smart here. I don't know if they were predicting Rhine, but I honestly don't even know what you would pick here. Like, if not Rhine, like Zarya, but you don't love Junbin on Zarya. And if he goes Zarya, then Bastion's really fine versus Zarya, especially with Symmetra teleport. Maybe Sigma was the play here. I don't know if Junbin can play Sigma, but Sigma probably feels like your best bet with a Lucio ban here. But I don't know if Junbin can play Sigma. And then Sigma would obviously be exposed by Bastion. So there's a lot of vulnerabilities with a Lucio ban to this comp. Like, Sigma probably just poops all over this comp. Like, if you could run a Symmetra mirror here, so like you could get like Sim, Ashe, Sigma here. This comp just destroys this comp with that. Maybe you prefer to have like a Juno instead. But there's just some hero pool problems here, So the ball, the 50 armor was pretty significant, Crimson King, and also there's been some other meta shifts around it as well. So yeah, okay, let's take a look here. So Bastion is more of a map pick, very flat, maybe trying to outplay with what Crazy Raccoon's going to play. Ashe is decent here. This is one of the situations where the map is just broad enough to where we can make Ashe work as long as you don't get teleported on. And Heesang plays Mei because Heesang is good at Mei, and Tracer's weak, and you could just off-angle and poke. Now, would I prefer a Symmetra here? Probably. But yeah, okay.
This is a comp here for CR.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just look at this and I feel like Alcad just absolutely comp diffs this right from the start. Like Juno Brig, Bastion, you get speed boost on your Bastion, you have teleport. There's multiple vulnerable targets to teleport on. Ryan is just objectively a weaker character at this level. Alcad's comp just feels more cohesive versus most of what Crazy Raccoon could roll on, with the exception of Sigma comps.
They don't mind brawling out with that sim though. But hey, it's finally happened after months of you telling us the sim.
But that teleport just gets him out of the choke immediately. How's the game volume, guys? Can you bear? And they're just saving turret form. And really, like, they could just choke them out. And what we'll probably see is D.Va drops the point, pressures point. That's probably going to be an opportunity for them to walk forward and take space. But then they're just going to teleport, speed ring, Bastion turret. Yeah. Why review this match as the team versus Falcons match? Because this was not a 3-0. And also, Crazy Raccoon is still in this tournament. Yeah. There's the teleport. There's the speed ring. There's the TP. Ash is the fat kid and gets a rundown. Bit of a misplay there. If I look at Crazy Raccoon's setup here, I don't think their setup is bad. The setup looks pretty good, actually. You've got Anna Ash in the long angle. Then you've got... It's just Ryan, man. It's just Ryan is freaking dookie, dude. Like, Ryan is pressuring point, which is fine, but Lip needs to get out of here faster. I mean, this looks fine. You have Brig May in one angle, Anna Ash in the other, Ryan on point. It looks okay. I just feel like Lip needs to be a little bit snappier. He needs to expect getting teleported on.
They see what's on the other side of Crazy Raccoon, and instead of playing aggressive, right? They take their time.
Oh, Doom is perfect. Doom is actually perfect. Doomfist is a perfect swap here. Okay, so let me talk about this. So first off, this is not a dive composition. You're not controlling many off angles to this, at least as effectively. You are going to need to off angle everything in Overwatch. Every comp off angles in Overwatch, but some comps are more self-sufficient on off angles than others. This composition has a lot more. They're a lot more fragile on off angles so they're a lot more vulnerable to getting isolated rather than tracers or Curies or whatever else. Doomfist, if you watched my subtle plug on Doomfist, is really bad versus dive comps. He's really bad versus hard off-angle comps. This comp doesn't have that. In addition, versus individual matchups, Doomfist is very good versus Sim. You punch her out a teleporter. You punch her away from what she wants to do. She's very slow. He's amazing versus Bastion. Very easy to feed punch, very hard to avoid him, massive hitbox. His ult's good there. And then crucially here, yeah, Brig and Juno are more skill matchups, but yeah, this is perfect swap from Junbin, actually. I actually didn't even think about the Doomfist here, but he's not a particularly strong character right now, but his perks, his major perks are pretty good, and this is like perfect. If he can play it, this is probably the best tank, that or Sigma here, 100%.
I am sorry.
Super good.
I mean, this is
Tracer just playing the map more, playing the composition more. Like, sure. Now we can get some dive stuff going on here. Tracer's still fine in this map. Yeah, it's a great swap. Great swap.
There's gas in the tank. But Castilla have so many.
So Alcad needs to try to bait Doom engages, and they can't give up all the map, right? So they need to continue to hold off angles. I'd probably say just sim off angling and just ready to teleport her Bastion around as need be. But you can't let Junbin hold that angle there, for example. You need to kind of stop him from doing this, because this is a huge problem. And I think a majority of that goes on Ziad. I don't like what they're trying to do. It looks like they're trying to do like a main push on backline. So Ziad's trying to mark the backline. But at least they're kind of synchronizing the pressure. So we have some pressure on main here, and then the teleport to point to mark Tracer at the same time. But this is not like super well coordinated. And then also, so we have Doom, we have backline, we have Ash, and we have Tracer. So like Crazy Raccoon's actually played this one really well, and they get a lot of space out of this early. So there's a window here. Lip just swings really freaking wide. Now D.Va gets speed rings, so she... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Junbin's doing at this point in time. Maybe just a mechanics issue. Maybe a fumble there. But it does feel like Crazy Raccoon was able to retake space fairly effectively. Which, to be fair, it's almost impossible on this point to do that. It's such a freaking miserable map to retake, but it was a good try. Yeah, spoilers are fine. He's going to pick the heal perk just because nades... You're not going to be doing a lot of consistent pressure anyway. Being able to use your ult as a get-out-of-jail-free card is pretty nice. Probably going to see a Nano Doomfist here. Maybe even a Nano Brig, depending on how things go. Bastion ult. That was trying to use the defensive cooldown, but he just explodes. We might see Levda swap here. Probably Soj would be my guess. Peel, Brig. Calyx gets the trade on Tracer. There's the Juno ult. They're just layering. Levda actually goes Cassidy. Interesting. Really surprised we don't see Sojourn here. Really surprised. You know, crucially, and you can kind of see it here, like, the thing here with this map is, like, they're trading, but the backline is still in the choke. And this is why the Ana Brigitte is such an all-in, because you don't really have the speed or mobility to get out of the choke. And then if you split super far, the team that has a Symmetra teleport and speed ring can then just punish your split. Right? So if you send Brigitte completely on an island like I would tell any ranked player to do, or any different map you would be able to do, it would be fine. This map, you can't do that. There's too many ways to just kill an isolated target without the other backliner or support being able to get a trade. And so this is where, like, we can hindsight coach some of this, like, on a Brig stuff, to where it's like, you need to just kind of just blow a bunch of ults or just kind of create some chaos to get your Ana out of the choke. Because as soon as we can get Shu here, we win the game. We win the game. Right? But as long as Ana's in the choke, we're fricked. And so this is what Alcat has done a really good job of. They've blown their Juno ult. They've blown their bomb, right, just for a remake. They've just blown, just to support ult, basically just to stand still. You cannot let the Ana Brig out of the choke. You have the mobility option. Do not let them out of the choke. And as long as this is what we see, it's going to be really hard for Crazy Raccoon to get out. Now, I say that, but Ziad gets smoked. I mean, to be fair, this is the downside of running... you know, the booster perk, which you know Ziad is running. You are a squishy baby diva again. Wait, is this a TP bomb? Freaking checkmate. Look at this, guys. They TP bomb. It wasn't even planned. It wasn't even planned. This was not planned. Ziad gets rally bashed and slept chained and then has to bomb remech, and checkmate just jumps off of the angle, throws the teleporter on backline, and makes it work. That is all on checkmate right there. To have the wherewithal to be able to do that. Crazy, man. You look at that and you're like, dude, we just got a free diva kill. Wait. And Levda is still not back because he goes cast, which I still disagree with, by the way. And so now they're just going to have to try to speed boost out of the choke. Wuyong maybe to do the split angle. So Wuyong, I think, is a little bit better at the... You're not going to have as much peel versus the diva, but we can at least get back fast. He's saying gets the touch, but dude, they have so many ults to hold space. They could just checkmate on on point here. And there it is. Rally push literally anything. And as long as they don't get unnecessarily traded, they don't need to worry about point, Alcad. They just need to get kills. And this should be it. Oh, no way they fumble this. Dude, that is criminal. So you're up 2. Landon gets isolated from his Brigitte, but gets a trade for it. So I can live with that. I just hate the Cassidy, man. He's just too freaking slow in this map, man. He's just too slow. Too easy to get isolated. Trade doesn't do anything. I just don't think it's reading the situation correct. So insane clutch there from Crazy Raccoon. They hit their ult spike just in time. And Lip just hits his shots, man. Okay, Glaze going crazy right now? I don't know. If Symmetra was so easy, then why are so many of the Korean players so freaking bad at her? I think Symmetra is objectively one of the most overtuned characters in the game right now and is absolutely shaping the meta in EMEA's favor. But her skill floor is way higher than people are giving her credit for, not just in terms of team coordination, but just in terms of individual play. You know, so like I agree that, like, okay, yeah, we've seen a lot of Symmetra, you know, Tracer higher skill floor. Yeah, listen, I'm the Tracer advocate, but I'm sorry, man. I just don't think it falls into the line of cheese. Skill floor really isn't relevant in this level. That's cope. That's cope. I'm telling you guys, if you think the skill floor isn't relevant at this level, then you have not watched... You have not watched professional Juno play. You have not watched professional Ramatra play. You have not watched professional Symmetra play. You have not watched professional Venture play. You have not watched professional Malga, although that one is more, I'll accept that one's a little bit more contentious. You have not watched professional Reaper play. Of course it's relevant. Of course it's relevant. Of course it's relevant. It's less relevant, maybe, but there is a significant gap between Checkmate and Yubi in the competition. Or Backbone, whatever, in the competition. There just is. They're all still cheese heroes? I mean, based off of what? Based off of what? I mean, if you're saying that that these our heroes are overtuned, yeah, I would agree with that, yeah. But I think it's like some serious cope to say that this is like, and again, I'm the dive guy, right? I'm the dive pill guy, but like, I think this gap is earned, to be honest with you. I think the gap's earned. Trust me, I'm a Ram hater, and I think Ram is by far the worst example, but there's still a gap there, you know? You know? And it's also worth pointing out that Korea has notoriously picked up the cheese and won anyway, right? Whether it was the Malga mirrors, whether it's the Ram mirrors, whether it's Venture. I mean, proper on Venture versus anybody else in times past, it just basically single-handedly takes over the lobby, right? And yet nobody talks about cheese there, right? Now, I know part of it's because, oh, well, we know that they could perform on dive. Sure, but they're still dominating on the cheese characters. Now they can't. So what's changed? You know what I'm saying? What's changed? If anything, I think Sim has a higher skill floor than half of the characters that we mentioned. You know? So. You know, I don't know. I still don't love the cast swap here. It makes sense when you have teleport. You have something a little bit more fragility. The teleport's so freaking good for situations like this. Well done. Nade comes in. It's not quite enough. The peel's there. The heal's there. They're able to skip the map control retake. The wing is really good versus the Sim, though, because you get so much more off-angle pressure, though. So much more damage. And so Alcad really needs to not group here. So it's fine to group when you're teleporting out, but I think there's been too much time now stayed in a clump, and this allows for too many off-angles, too much damage being pressured here. And you can kind of see it here. So we've got, I don't even know where Weiyang is right now, but we've got pressure from here, 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 and it looks like maybe not right now, but we're going to get maybe pressure from here. This is too much. Like this is not good. This is where you need to start, like between teleport cycles, which is probably what they're waiting for. You need to start to kind of drift and look here. You need to drift and look here. You can't let yourself get pincered here because just characters like Doom. I mean, look at Junbin. That's an AoE punch right there. Stuff like Weiyang splashes. Too little map control here. So this is there's your Korea dive mastery right there. Like post teleports, we need to group. Ugh. It's literally the map we talked about AoE punch, and it's just insane. So you group when you rotate, you spread to fight.
You're trying to keep Checkmate alive as Yad going to get back to the spawn here. Going to swap, go back to the Diva. You may have been kind of just trying to keep Checkmate alive through that.
So let's see what their plan is here. They're going to play for Juno for sure. They might do a teleport High Noon. Remember, High Noon does find more value in these comps, even with punch and sleep, just because of teleport. I love the off-angle retake here. What's the split that we're looking at here? Ziad's common. Ziad on the angle. Looks like it might even be... is it a double support? It might be... Shoot, I don't even know. It's just... Yeah, it's just a solo angle. He just goes by himself. Yeah, and then they group up again, and then this is going to be the teleport into Juno, most likely. Yeah, so they do it, they teleport, they skip. Now, the reason why teleport's really strong is it kind of ruins off angles, right? Because look at where Pisang is. He's a little behind. Shu anticipates, rotates away. Nanduis comes in big. Nade comes in big. Juno ult is hit. Can they keep Ziad alive? So they're skipping off angles by just teleporting with ult. But they're still vulnerable to those off angles if they don't clear them. And Crazy Raccoon just does too good of a job. It was a good try. It was a good try. You know, I wonder if maybe this was a situation where we don't do a full teleport here. Did they do a full teleport? No, they didn't. They didn't do a full. They did. They only sent a couple people over. Yeah, so it was more like a split bait and then try to kill whoever's isolated, the Sojourn, and it worked. But then they end up losing the off angle to Brigitte. But honestly, I feel like... Oh, Calyx gets naded. That's what happens. Does Calyx take the teleporter? Oh, he gets slept and naded. Okay, so that's just mechanics. Because I look at this and I'm like, there's no way Calyx died. I'm sorry, I was really slow here. Yeah, that's just a mechanical play. Like, because Calyx should take the teleport bait and then get back out and then be able to keep his backline alive. He just doesn't. He gets slept and naded. That's unfortunate.
They cannot deal with Junbin. Now you're like looking at what? Maybe one.
This matchup for Crazy Raccoon is perfect, man. Like with these heroes, like retaking this even with a symmetric teleport is so challenging. They're just gonna go underneath and mix it up and probably teleport top. There's the teleport top. They're gonna try to catch Shu. They're gonna honestly probably should all in there. They should probably all in there. They do, and then they catch it with Wearing ult. High noon on high ground. D.Va to touch. D.Va's gonna get punched. She's low. She's dead. The layering from Crazy Raccoon is just too good. I really do think Crazy Raccoon. I think Alkid has got to be sick after winning the rollout war by just out-comping them and then throwing a fight where they had a massive advantage. That has to suck. That has to suck. Because I legitimately don't think that they've done anything. I mean, yeah, they rotate with teleport and they failed to split after that, and then just dying to random Wearing spam sucks. But I don't think this is like horrifically done by Alkid. It was like pretty reasonable, and then Crazy Raccoon just outplayed them. But man, you cannot give away a free round to just stupid errors, man. That sucks. Really well done by Crazy Raccoon on the comp swaps, though. Looks really tight. That looked really good. Can I go over Ana positioning the double flex versus D.Va? I mean, you just have to play on an island and just basically play really baity. So like what you do is you have to anticipate teleport and kind of rotate away to create distance. It's a lot of hide and seek. It's a lot of hide and seek, and then really making sure that you hit your cooldown spikes when they happen. Because you can't, Choron can't babysit Shu. He needs to do damage on an angle and support his DPS. So Ana just kind of like lurks on the other side of bridge, hides, try to listen to where teleport is. Remember, the teleport distance is such that it's a lot more predictable of where they're going to teleport, and then yeah, just punish it. And I think Ana's like Shu consistently did that here. I think Ana sucks in the same D.Va combos. I mean, yes and no. If the map has space like it does here, I think she's fine if you're Shu. So, but you have to know your stuff, and most Western players don't know their stuff. Shu does. Okay, no real major. I mean, Lebda goes Sojourn, thankfully. I don't know why he didn't make that swap sooner, but now here we are. So, yeah, I don't see really any reason for anything to be done differently for either team. Both teams playing their strengths. How can Alkid control space without the Sim teleport perk, man? This map is so broad. And this is probably why they chose this over Ilios. You know, and honestly, that makes a lot of sense. It's like, if you could, the breadth of this map feels so good for double flex Tracer. More so than probably Ilios does with Winston. That's probably my prediction. That probably was backed up by Scrimbuck's results. I bet like every EMEA team sweated their cheeks off with like these D.Va Sim, whatever. I mean, we saw it. When did we see that? I'm thinking Merit Symmetra. It was the Korean Grand Finals, right? Like where Korean teams, I mean, kind of made the Symmetra stuff work on Ilios versus Dive. So maybe it's just been solved a little bit more. So yeah, and the breadth of the map just feels better here. There's the off-angle push with Sojourn. It's really good. They're going to teleport the D.Va, and who's going in with that? And that see, they always synchronize this. They always synchronize this. You notice that this is, they teleport the D.Va, and then right then, Lebda goes to push the off angle and looks for an isolated kill. He doesn't quite get the kill, but this is like, this is what, like, if you want to talk about like the EMEA gap here, it's this kind of team play push pull aspect, right? They are always doing split pushes. I think both TM and Alkid are insanely good at not always controlling off angles all the time, but off of timing. They're always really good at these split pushes, like always. Like that, it's like they've got it freaking downloaded, man. So, so good. And then they also use that teleport to rotate around, so, you know, it doesn't end up working out. But, I mean, the play is there. This just really comes down to a hero pool, where it just might be like, especially because of this map. This would be easier if it was downtown because it's more compressed, but this map is rough to play into Crazy Raccoon's comp. Rough. What if you're Sushi? No, Sushi would do it. We're gonna go Kiriko. Plays better on the map. But I mean that's a good swap by Landon, but it is it is damning because it basically tells them it's like, dude, we got to play this map strengths more. This map is too broad, man. They're even going to go Mirror Tracer, Kiriko Tracer. Kiriko Tracer gets flipped. Headshot perk already locked in. Kiriko doesn't have basically any of her perks. Oh, jeez. It's just so much space for Ana, Sojourn, Doomfist to work. Oh, the nade from cross map. Calyx has tried. Just... Yikes. This, I want to be very clear. This is dangerous. I mean, we already know the result of this match. But this is going to be Crazy Raccoon. I guarantee you Crazy Raccoon is thinking about this match. I guarantee you Crazy Raccoon is thinking about this particular map when they're playing versus TM. Right? You know, where can we pull this kind of shenanigans? Where can we whip out double flex? Where can we run Soj Tracer? Dude, freaking Doomfist. We might see more Doomfist tomorrow. There's a chance. Oh, jeez. Nano Doom, off-angle Tracer. It just... You're cooked. You can't mirror double flex. Your Tracer matchup is... I mean, Checkmate's fine on Tracer, but he's not Heesang. And even if he was Heesang, they're so far behind the 8-ball here. I mean, this is cooked. Yeah, the frick. This is definitely Alcat's more difficult map, but this is why I said it was so unfortunate they lost that one fight. Because, oh jeez. Because if you can get it to downtown, maybe, but no, this is freaking cooked, right? That's it. Wow. What a one to start off. All right, I'm telling you guys, if Crazy Raccoon doesn't try something like this, either through map pool, bans, or something here, I would be shocked. I would be shocked. Down the wrong pipe. Ball could work here too, yeah. A little bit of a worse matchup. More so probably stayed Doomfist because he already had his perks rolling. But yeah, Ball would be fine there. 50 less armor, but you have Doomfist with major perk. You might as well just stay. You might as well just stay. Yeah, there's no Bastion, so it's a little bit weaker for sure. But yeah, I think you're fine. No Sem, no Bastion, so Ball probably would feel better, but you have a Doomfist with major perks. Just keep it going. And I also think Doomfist is quite good in that map. Doom Ball are just both very, very fast on big maps. So, and I think if they'd run Ball there, I think the result would have been the same. So, why did they not try it again? Well, it's just a map thing. Like I said, it's a map thing. It's a wide, flat map. And this is, it's not something that you can replicate on every map, right? Like on, flat, narrow maps, you're going to get out-brawled. On wide verticality maps, it's very easy to avoid Doomfist, play underneath him, play over him. Or a character like Winston's just infinitely better. D.Va can stage a lot better. So it's just like the perfect situation, and I just think that's gonna be really tough. Double flex here. When I say double flex, I mean the traditional hero pool. I mean double poke support, basically. Double ranged support here. Would this have worked without the Lucio ban? It would have been harder, because with Kiriko Lucio, there's a lot more opportunity to rotate and clear angles and take space on more broad maps. Whereas Juno is a bit more sluggish. Juno Brigitte are a bit more sluggish than Kiriko Lucio. But we probably would have seen something very similar with Kiriko Lucio instead. Okay, we'll skip forward a little bit. Can we just call Wing a main support? Well, main support generally implies a skirmish type playstyle, like plays up close, and Wing does not play up close. So I define supports not based off of just their hero pools, but their range. And because that tells you how they play. Wing is poke. Brig Lucio are brawl. If you ran freaking, and this is how you know that's the case, it's because Life Weaver, which has almost exclusively been played by the main support pool, is not a main support. Or he's not a skirmish support. He's a poke support. So if you ran on a Life Weaver, that would be double poke. That's why the whole poke flex versus main support thing is so stupid. It's just it's skirmish or poke. That's it. Skirmish or poke. Okay. Shambali, this is chosen by Alcad, and I believe they get the first ban on Venture, which is just basically, he's saying is a demon on Venture. This is just going to force things more up Alcad's way. Venture's also really good versus the Symmetra. Symmetra obviously plays versus Alcad's favor. Now, as I said, you kind of burned your Ram ban, so that's one of your tank matchup advantages kind of down the toilet, but I honestly think that this is equally important for them. So this feels good for Alcad. And then Crazy Raccoon is just basically like, all right, well, then what are our best characters that we can function here? Anna Brig is weird. Anna Brig is really strange. I don't know. Oh, they banned Kiriko. Okay, never mind. That makes a lot more sense. I totally forgot to look at their ban. Yeah, Kiriko, get Landon off of Kiriko. Again, Crazy Raccoon thinks that their support flexibility is their biggest strength. And we just saw that last point where, you know, Anna Brig, Anna Wuyang, the ability to do that it was just as important as the Doomfist, really. It's just as important as the Doomfist. So yeah, obviously Brigitte Chorong, he's good at it. Brigitte is more flexible in that regard about whether she can pocket DPS or hold space, and obviously it's really good versus the Diva as well. And then Anna's fine. You have a lot of good nano targets. You are starting on defense, so you can set up your Anna a little bit more of a spot. But there are some vulnerabilities here. Anna Brig is going to be decent versus this, but, you know, you misplay here, you're going to have a Diva in your face. You're going to have teleport, and the difference between this and Busan is that there is a little bit less space. There's still some decent space here. There's some sightlines and obviously Symmetra teleport still limited. But this might not feel as good because it is a bit more compressed, which is why Alcad is choosing this map, right? So the Echo Sojourn, I feel like is, you know, just lip on Soj, don't get teleported on, Ram, whatever. There's nothing super creative here. You play Brawl characters, the backline flexibility, setting up your Ana defense, trying to outplay the Diva, yeah. The Echo is a weird one. So Echo is, we don't want to Semir. Our Venture was banned. Not promise you, but I would say 75% chance that if Venture's not banned, that's what he sings on right now. Too flanker heavy for Tracer, or too compressed for Tracer. Not near broad enough of a map. And so Echo is going to off-angle. Echo is going to poke. Echo is going to try to avoid Symmetra teleport. Echo is also just going to punish whoever she can. And then Echo Copy is also a pretty consistent ultimate at this level, so it really helps your layering out. That's a huge, another reason why Symmetra is really good here, where, like, if you think about, like, basically every single one of these ults helps with layering, so these messy fights with ult for ult for ult for ult, they're, like, basically, with the exception of Sojourn, they're all support ults, right? You have Nano, you have Rally, you have Echo, which is the second life, and then you have Annihilation, which is the second life as well. I think this is, like, pretty logical decisions from all the teams involved. Pretty logical decisions for all the teams involved. I mean, Bap, Landon, it's a classic character for him. Kiriko's banned, and there's no threat of Tracer. There's not even really a threat of a Symmetra teleport on top of him, so yeah, Bap's fine. Strangely enough, this is a situation where Bap actually can work here, so we'll see. Okay, let's take a look here. So, teleports, Echo angles, and Ana cooldowns. That's going to be the storyline here, right? Force point as long as you can. Avoid the high ground until you run him over. Ziad's going to mirror Ramatra, which I think is probably due to the Brigitte. Probably due to the Brigitte. Maybe there's a world as well where a pocketed Echo just burns Diva too much. I'm not too sure. I could see arguments for either one here. Stalling cart, rotating high ground. Are they going to fake teleport across? What are they doing? This looks like a fake to me. Feels like a fake. It is a fake. Yeah, so they actually did not go top. They flipped it, but Kelix gets killed on the rotation because Lip has the angle. And Heesang has the angle. More honestly, that was more on Heesang than anybody else. You can look at Heesang's ult charge. But yeah, that's why you run Echo, right? Echo just fills the flanker void here, right? We talk about why does double flex support generally not work? Why does double poke support generally make sense? Because you can't have two characters both poking from distances on most maps. Why does Echo fill the skirmish DPS position? It's because most DPS can't play here and get away with it, right? Like, look at that, right? Complete isolation, right? Only Echo can do that. Only Venture can do that. Only Tracer can do that. Only Genji can do that, right? And so they're picking Echo for the situation, for this result right here. So Lip gets the final blow, but this is all he's saying. This is all he's saying. The ability to punish that rotation on an angle without getting run over is all he's saying. And look at his ult charge. My goodness gracious. That's my only problem with the Ram thing. And the Ana as well. Like, it feels like this is... Oh, man. Like, what's going to stop the Echo on the angle here? If it's not going to be... If you're going to be flipping the map, the Matrix really helps make those rotations feel smoother. I don't know. I don't know. Wait, Heesang just dies? Heesang? Looks like he gets sucked. I just think he makes a mistake. I don't know why he was even there. But it doesn't matter. The punish should be enough here. And yeah. Man, it just feels oppressive there. So they're going to have to... These whole 5-man teleports... If Heesang has an angle, they're just not going to work. They're just not going to work. You're going to need to have, like, leave your Soj behind with a little bit of Lucio pocket or something to kind of bait, you know? They're going to use Ziad. Where's everybody else? Ooh. Oh, no. He misses it. He pressed it. He missed the cooldown, though, and that's going to cost a trade. Crucial error there, right? Like, that trade's always favor the attackers in those situations with how close spawns are. So crucial error there from Shu. The press there was fine. Definitely a high-risk, high-reward maneuver, but they don't make it work. And you can see Alcat's kind of doing a little bit more split gank stuff, right? Where they're a little bit more pressed off and multiple different sightlines. They're sending the ram off in one angle. They're trying to play around Heesang. They really don't want Heesang to get that angle that he just got again. Early shield, early punish, preserving HP. They get max low, body block behind. That's going to use a BAP window. That's going to force annihilation for the extra refresh and armor. But again, we have, I mean, you can see it here. This is just the skirmish DPS playstyle, right? The Genji, the Venture, the Tracer. We just have Echo unmarked, dropping on a backline with Nano, Sojourn, Echo copy behind. Now, to be fair, that's a lot of resources thrown into backline, so I don't think Alcat's too upset about that. But, yeah. You got to watch those angles, man. You cannot get too focused on that ram. You cannot get too focused on that ram because they're going to keep doing that. It's going to be hit squad, pocketed Soj, pocketed Echo coming in from the side. And unless you teleport through here, so what you could do is if you see that, you either mark it or you teleport to flip it. So what you do is you either shoot the person that's flanking you, or you just teleport, flip the map to where the person flanking you is no longer doing anything anymore. Yeah, they need to bait rotation so that Heesang's exactly. So they need to find a way to rotate away from Heesang's setup, or they need to mark the setup. When you decide to mark the setup, as in shoot the off angle versus rotate away, is completely dependent on your ults. So a BAP window, like I guess honestly it depends, right? Like BAP window is fairly flexible, but there's a situation there where you might just want to like plant your feet and shoot. In which case you might want to mark instead. But honestly, you can even flip with BAP window. So all right. Early pressure. We'd probably see a ram copy here. That's probably the most consistent thing you can do. And that's probably what we're going to see here. And they're just going to go early with rally push and then just an echo angle. And they don't even need to freaking copy. Yeah, they just were not expecting them to fight this early. Remember, you rotate as a team, you fight as angles. But I just don't think Alcad was ready for them to fight there. They just weren't ready. That's such a dirty fight one right there. It's a fast loss, and Lebda does get a trade, though. But still, like, that's pretty cheap. Ouch. So how are Alcad going to take this now? There's the amp. There's the echo angle. Landon somehow gets beat there. And Chorong gets... Where's Chorong? Chorong should be baiting right now. Chorong should be nowhere near the front line right now. So Chorong is like flanking or something, but I have no idea what Chorong is doing right now. You have somebody in spawn first off, but Chorong should just be like hiding and ratting. They have 1, 2, 3 close range ultimates, brawl ults, okay? Skirmish ults, right? If you want, so to speak. So you have somebody in spawn. The last thing you want to do is be easily hit. So you just kind of want to like lurk up here, pocket your echo, play it nice and slow, let them blow an ult, let them go to point, pocket your ram, let them take a little bit of a beating. I don't even know why ram is here, honestly. Like Shu's in spawn. I mean, like maybe they thought they could force like 2 ults here, but like If all they do is force beat here, I don't think this is good. Maybe they'll get one more and it'll be worth it. But then, see, they're going to commit their copy. And so then any trades here, I don't know, man. It's definitely a high-risk, high-reward maneuver, and I just really don't know how I feel about that right now, given the fact that they still had space. So trades are going their way, but I'm not going to praise that because it worked, because I don't know, in a vacuum, that just doesn't feel a crazy shot from Checkmate. That's actually such a huge trade. They were out-tempoing them. Sure. Yeah, I mean, taking early fights like that, but that feels like such a skill check, no? Check your corners, right? I mean, Echo didn't even fly. She just was directly over them, right? So it feels like maybe some match nerves coming in here. Feels like some things that should be more punishable, for sure. There's the Wuyang swap. That's more of a speed from spawn swap. I think the same thing goes with the Pharah as well. She's just a bit faster. But, you know. There's the Sojolt. Did they get any sort of isolation from that? Doesn't look like it. They're going to layer that with Simwall. But yeah, Sojolt doesn't do a whole lot, but I guess it does clear off into some awkward splits for Crazy Raccoon, and then they're just going to Simwall. Ram ult popped. Can they teleport away from that? No. And Crazy Raccoon has been able to hold some space here. Yikes. Yikes. Alcad cannot be happy with that result. Too many free fight wins, man. Way too many free fight wins. You gotta check your corners, man. Credit goes to Heesang and a lot of Crazy Raccoon for like how they're angling this really, really well. But like I think the couple of fights that stand out to me was the one Echo angle that just completely wins them the fight. The fight where they just lost to a rallying Brig just because they didn't check their corners. And then even this one, right? Like they blow everything on point. They Sojolt, but they don't take any space as a result. I know it's OT. But when you pop Sojolt and you have teleport, you cannot be stuck here. You have to send that teleport with your sim on point, whatever. Teleport your Diva, teleport your Lucio, teleport your Sojourn. You have to get a trade here. Now, Kiriko is a huge benefit in these situations as well, but man, you cannot throw 2 ults on point and gain 0 map control. You can't do it, man. You can't do it. Really well played by Crazy Raccoon in terms of holding space. They never, ever, ever lost space the entire time. They gambled, they out-tempoed quite literally in the situations where it mattered. And despite my grumping about it, they did get some good trades the previous fight, right? Enough. And they just never really took space back, man. I mean, it's just insane to use Sojourn ult and Simwall and lose to Annihilation. I mean, I don't care if it's Nano or not, you know? I don't care if it's OT or not. At that point in time, really the fact that, you know, more than just Diva on point in that situation, that's a choice. Bro coming back on Pharah. I mean, Pharah's a good choice because she kind of fulfills the same thing, not quite, but it's okay. But she's much, 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 much faster than Echo from coming back from spawn. You have dash, you have conk, you also move faster while you're using fuel, and then your jump jet gives you more fuel. Pharah is Pharah is one of the faster rollback characters. How can you out-tempo the tempo tank? Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so Alcad's going to stick by their guns. I'm curious to see what Crazy Raccoon does here, because Echo and defense is a little bit easier. You have those roofs to set up on, but I have no expectations. Probably see more Brig. I think Brigitte easier to retake space with. Basically, it's easier on defense to run more pokey ranged options because you have time to set up. So we'd probably see Ana Brig or whatever variation that they wanted with Brigitte. We'll probably see Ram. We're probably going to see Soj. Maybe we just see Echo again. We'll see.
Time and time again already on Shambali. We talked about this. What an incredible test Shambali Monastery would be for Max.
Soj, what does he saying play though? Echo. Okay. Chorong Wuyang. Weird. Okay, no, I mean, they're not a Diva, so it makes a little bit more sense, but it's strange to not see, like, Lucio Mirror here. Like, it is strange not to see a Lucio Mirror. I think this map is too compressed. I think Lucio's too good here. Really opens up a lot of layering as well. I think it's just really hard on an attack to open up often. Busan, this worked because, whoosh, I don't know that it works here. Yeah, this map has design problems, I think, a little bit here, but everything except the Wuyang I'm a fan of. Echo angle here. It's fine. Echo kind of tickling from the angle here. But this is where you could have like your Lucio, like kind of holding speed here and just poking from this angle a little bit here. Looking for some pressure, getting some aura here, getting some aura here. Looking for some support, maybe denying teleport, booping teleport if need be. But this feels... I like this angle from Heesang a lot, but yeah, so basically the other reason why you run Lucio as well is to avoid these kind of things, right? Where like you need to speed your Ana. So even if you don't angle with your team because you want to protect your backline, that's fine. Then you need your speed and just Chorong dies instantaneously. So what they do is they see, this is exactly what we talked about earlier with Rio was saying, right? Where like either you mark the Echo, she's way too far away to mark. You don't have a consistent hit scan character. This does not count. This does not count at this range. And so what you do is you just teleport where Echo can't do anything. And so now, yes, you've given up off angle, quote unquote, but they don't have an off angle either, with the exception of maybe this or maybe this. Now, to be fair, Shu does expect this, and Shu is positioning himself well here, but Chorong gets smoked, Lip gets smoked, Heesang is doing nothing. They can also then run at anything that they want, including the Ram, and kill the Ram, and by the time Heesang gets there, it's too late. So this is kind of what I talked about, like where with the Symmetra and like a lot of like the Lucio stuff, Alcad finds ways to just not control too many off angles, but to play in a way that respects them. You see this Twisted Minds does the same thing as well. So they're back on the angle. Echo's back on the poke angle again. How are they going to play here? Ana on the deep. Chorong still on the Wuyang. Sojourn, they're listening. They're pushing cart poking. Alcad has been unable to poke out Max enough, so they're kind of on the timer, excuse me. So they're going to teleport. Wait, what? Where did they teleport? Was it a bait teleport and then just rush Max? Yeah, so they bait teleport on backline here to force Wuyang out to look at the attention that they're pulling here, and then they use that opportunity to rush Max. The problem is Max is on Ramatra. And also, I don't know why Lebda drops. You're not Lucio. You don't need to drop. You can hold space. So this is a mechanical error from Lebda. I think this play is fine, but Landon should not drop. Landon does not drop. And Lebda doesn't need to drop. So you notice that Landon does not take teleport, nor does he drop. He just holds the space. Lebda needs to do the same. I don't know why this is fine, but this is not fine. Just hold the high ground. It's sloppy. And so then they just walk into a three-man pincer. They've never really tracked where Shu is, so they don't really get the shield that they need. The shield needed to come from this angle here, but they just didn't know he was there. And then it's over. So they get the kill. To be honest with you, I'm surprised Max even died here. He still had shield. Wait, you know what? Honestly, where was shield from Alcad? They used it before they rotated? That is weird. That's a bad shield from Ziad. They needed to use the shield on the rotation to cut off the healing. So actually, I misjudged. That was actually Max's shield, which makes a little bit more sense. And then Max... I mean, I guess Max maybe dies there, but still. Interesting. Jeez, man. Insane Shu nade, yeah, because Shu is just playing hide and go seek. Remember the same question we had in Busan. How do you play Ana in these situations? Even though it's not Diva. It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. You lurk, you hide, but because you're a burst character, you're a tempo support, right? Where a huge portion of your value comes in a burst. You don't have to do anything for a while. You can just do one big thing, and then you could just have downtime. So yeah, Zia, there's the Diva swap. Yeah, I just... Ram was fine to start with, but... And honestly, both plays from Alcad were good, but very, very strange choice from Zia to shield that before going when you're really scared of Soj and Echo and Ana, and also bizarre choice of Lebda to drop there. I'm looking and I was talking to least expect it. Well, you shouldn't have said that. Soj Lucio marking the offing on the Echo. Very difficult to mark Echo there, though. Heesang's just basically lurking in their backline, but Alcad has to move forward. Card is getting really close. They don't have any layers here whatsoever. Lip just dies. Was that a teleport? Yeah, so Lip is here. He gets tickled a little bit. I think he gets railed and then just boosted on. That's a massive misplay from Lip. What? What happens here? That feels really unforced, man. That one hurts right there. Because that's a situation where you could just nano your Soj there and keep her alive if she just lives a little bit. Early copy. Will we get enough? The lamp doesn't get there in time. They're able to close the gap. D.Va dies, but they're able to close the gap with speed boost here. And Wuyang has just done nothing, man. Like, I am just shocked at this Wuyang swap. Like, there's just is not enough angle approach to outvalue Lucio, man. You know, like, I just... Unforced error from Lip there. He's saying is doing unbelievable amount of work. I think Shu is mostly getting value for his death, so it's not a big deal. But unforced error from Lip, and then just Chorong is just a complete waste of space. And this, if he, yeah, see, this is an accidental stagger too. That hurts. No, wait, what? He gets one? Sim wall, turrets, lamp is used. Wuyang ult, what will it do? Does nothing. Beat is used to keep them alive. That means he can leave Landon behind. Max is going to get isolated. Max should die here in a second. Checkmate gets nailed down. Lip gets isolated in the mirror. And it's in these messy fights that on this particular space, it's really freaking hard to outvalue D.Va. It's really hard to outvalue Lucio, right? Oh, man. Incredible pocket there. Incredible play there from both players. Incredible clutch there from Alcad. That was it right there, man. That was it right there. Insane clutch. So big that Kellex beats just in time. 99 gets Landon and then just bails. Forces Lip out with the Soj ult, so Lip gets nothing with it. They kill Checkmate, obviously, but he was dead either way. And then is able to keep himself alive. They get the trade. Still marking cart. Still pressuring. Ziad gets his one post-demech, I believe, there. Or right as he gets demeched. Nade hits. Gets the kill on Kellex. Lamp comes in there. Lebda and Landon just clutch it out, man. Crazy. Crazy. This is the mechanical side of things, right? Alcad has it. Alcad, these guys are at least A tier mechanically on most of their characters, all the characters that we're seeing right now. And so in these skirmishy, messy fights, especially if they're playing the right characters, they can make it work, man. Well, okay, so when we talk about the energy of the crazy, messy fight and being able to clutch it out, the reason that this is happening is not only because these guys are insanely good at all of these characters mechanically, like just straight up, but because they're playing the better heroes for the map. I'm telling you, that Wuyang is a huge toss. It is so stressful to play Wuyang in these situations and just not have that impactful of an ultimate here. I agree. I think if that wave hits, Crazy Raccoon, I don't think that's even an I think. They do. I think almost unquestionably. It's just bizarre that they're running this backline on attack on Shambali Monastery into Sim D.Va. This is why they're doing like, this is going to be like, obviously, I know that they know the nuance here, but the best way to explain this is like a plat player counter-picking Winston by picking Orisa on Gibraltar. It's not obviously that egregious, but that's kind of the line of logic here where they're thinking more about the matchup rather than the map. This is not a counter comp on this map anymore. It just isn't. And yeah, even stuff like the Wuyang ult falls off hard without Tracer here. Is Ram good in this map? Yes, Ram is very good in this map. Ram D.Va's fine. Ram's good. Maxis, this is fine. Even the Ana little nonsense that we're seeing from Shu is like, he's playing it relatively well. And so there's been a couple of unforced errors, like Lip stuff, but I really think the Shorong choice is a huge toss. Huge toss. Timothy, thank you for the sub.
Landon really popped off here, even though I felt like Shu Korong was a better support duo.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just crazy. This is just... So I'm not taking away from Alcad, but in the same way, I didn't want to take away from Alcad in the performance of the previous map, where I do think it was just a comp diff, and if they can't play it, it's not a big deal. I don't want to take away from Alcad here for... they played the right heroes, man. They played the right heroes. I don't even think Shorong is... I mean, he died on a teleport early. That's probably your criticism there. Like, they just teleported on the first fight, just instantly killed him, right? Which should not happen if you have both wave, shift, and you know that you're a teleport target, but... Why didn't show wrong pocket max here? Well, I'm not as looking as focused on the, did he have heal resource?
It's going to be very difficult to dislodge him, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it. He's so healthy, but Landon is done.
It is a bit strange there. I think he did have heal resource. I could see him dumping his whole full beam into max there for like 250 HP and then going from there, sure. I don't think it's that big of a deal because if you look at this here, you could also say that like, dude, this guy's 1 in lamp. If he hits one more shot there, Soj maybe dies. Like, it's just crazy pocket from Landon. I understand there. It's like a 50-50, you know? I think getting the kill there is like equally important. But wow, what a clutch. And I want to highlight Lip died first to just basically nothing. He has slide. He in theory should have Wing on a pocket. He just died to jack all. He's saying has been doing a really good job. He's saying has been a menace. He's been doing everything that you need your Echo to do on both the attack and defense here, and it just hasn't been enough. A lot of this goes back to Max dying, trying instead of getting Vortex up. Was it this one here? Are you talking about like when they first rushed him, like a while back? Yeah, Max has died a couple of times on Ram where I've wondered if he's just been holding block or not. For sure. Like when they teleported onto him from here, I did wonder why he took so much damage. And without replay codes, it's kind of hard to see. But yeah, if you just block, if you're getting focus as Ram, just block, man. Wait. I'm sorry. I am curious. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, this one, you mean? Yeah, maybe that was the one you're talking about. And I don't know if that was all his fault, but it did suck that he died there. But yeah, Alcat plays it really, really well. They clutch it. Yeah, could be Sarah. Yeah, it's hard to say, but yeah. Tracer just for the touch and just to off-angle max. I don't know. You don't really have had time to do anything crazy here. Your best bet here is try to farm Nano, which definitely seems like that's what's the plan here. But you're still going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit in terms of old economy. And I don't even know what you Nano here. Nano Ram on point, probably your best bet. But like that just feels so bad, you know? There's just not a lot that you can do here, right? So Annihilation's already, or Nemesis form is already burned. And then they're just going to try to burn it here because now it's like, there's your tempo. There's your cooldown cycle from Crazy Raccoon just to touch, right? I think that was Recall. I believe that was Shield. Definitely Nemesis form. And now that Nemesis form is expiring, this guy could just freaking die. And so there's that timing window, and they don't even get the Nano off. And then crucially, this is an Alcat special, the split push. Remember this, guys? Remember the split push, right? Here's your split push. At the same time while we're pushing on main, we're at the same time swinging wide left at the same time and getting that kill, right? So look carefully, right? Checkmate gets the teleport backline. They swing wide with Soj. They swing wide with Diva, and they're just fricked. The Symmetra's got the off-angle flank there. It's just impossible. Yeah. They're not even like crazy flanks either. They just always have a split push. Always have a split push. Both Alcat and team are so good at not really taking a lot of map control early and then just quickly teleporting, flanking, split push constantly. And they really know their timings. If you want to talk about tempo, a word that gets abused as finding your windows to push your advantages, right? Like, it's a really hard concept to understand, but the TLDR is that when you have an advantage, that's when you want to push. The problem is that most NA teams in the past, EMEA, whatever, Western teams, they didn't split push. They would just push. And so they'd walk into like 4 different off angles. Alcat team don't do that. When they find their window to find an advantage, I mean, even think about Crazy Raccoon out-tempoing by dropping the Echo behind with the rally push in front. It's always a split push. So when you're talking about a push, it has to be a split. It has to be a split. And you're kind of seeing the difference in the macro execution of out-tempoing here because they don't forfeit map control to push forward. And if you think about when Alcat has done that and it's not worked, Alcat out-tempos the Echo flank, right? And they just teleport to a way to where they don't have any off-angles. But the time where it didn't work, the one afterwards, when they out-tempoed the Ram, they saw cooldown and they jumped on the Ram. Well, that's because they didn't hold an off-angle, right? They dropped their Sojourn onto the floor. They just threw everybody there. Landon did, but Sojourn didn't. And so then that kills Sojourn, right? And so like that's an important kind of difference there. Yeah, okay. Well-earned victory, I guess, from Alcad there. I mean, the clutch gene was there, but definitely some questionable choices from Crazy Raccoon in terms of compositional stuff. Okay, let's keep going here. So Crazy Raccoon map choice. This is definitely a little bit more of a broad, more, I would say, dive potential map. Thus the Suravasa. Diva's banned because Diva's not just good versus Winston, but Diva's going to be good versus the whole dive matchup, anti-dive matchup, which is going to put Alcad in an awkward spot where you're going to run Ram, you're going to run Zarya. It's like, what do we do here? So I think Zarya is probably better here. Ram is just atrocious versus these broad dive comps. It's so hard to get early poke. And then Alcad's going to ban Wuyang because it's going to force the dive to be a bit more compressed. You know this Kiriko, Wuyang, massive off-angle Busan Sanctuary nonsense getting sniped a million miles away. You probably wouldn't see Ana here. It's probably too fast of a map, too much movement required. But Kiriko Wuyang with this comp here would just feel oppressive to play into. So I think both teams, ban-wise, this is really, really reasonable. A lot of logic behind this. I definitely favor Crazy Raccoon's composition on this map right now. But I favor Alcad's composition in terms of the meta right now. Zarya is a stronger character, or equally as strong with Winston. If we're ever going to see a Zarya-Winston matchup being looked somewhat favorably, it'd be now. Symmetra feels really good right now. Kiriko, Lucio, and so on. So I think overall Crazy Raccoon is going to be very pleased with this rollout. Alcad's going to be a little bit frustrated, but there's not a whole lot that they can do about it. And this is, like, I guess, their best bet here. Cassidy is still very interesting to me. I mean, maybe they just didn't know what tank that they were going to roll out on, but like, I just value Sojourn Slide a lot more in this matchup, not just versus the Winston, but also on the game mode. But again, the highlight of Cassidy is in the same way when you're running a pocketed hit scan. You know, you can get away with running something a little bit slower because they have a little bit more sustain. And that's basically what we're potentially seeing here, where you have not just the teleport, not just the Suzu, but also the bubbles as well. And I think this reason why this might work is because when you're playing Zarya into dive, these very high mobile characters, they're just very good at ignoring you, and so they just never feed you charge. They're afraid of ball? No, I don't. Maybe. But I think regardless of what they run here, that's a good question. It's a good point. But I think the nice thing with the Cassidy here, and maybe this is why they run it, is that with Cassidy, he's pretty volatile. He's a lot of damage. And he's going to kind of force an action. He's going to force a pocketed Sojourn on him, or a Lucio sped boost Winston, or some Echo Stickies. And so you're more likely to need a bubble on Cassidy than you are a Sojourn. And that's a good thing. You want something to bubble when you're playing Zarya and to dive, because you yourself are not really a target. So you look at Alcad's comp, it's extremely volatile. But that's not a bad thing if you're running Zarya, because you need volatility. You're not going to beat this composition just by sitting around and poking. Yeah, so we're probably going to see some off-angling with Cassidy, just basically begging for every resource in the world. And if he does his job and is able, then maybe there's a world that they can make it work. Old Economy is really bad. High Noon is a lot weaker versus a composition like this. Grav is also a lot weaker. Kitsune is a lot weaker. Semwall is a lot weaker. These are all fine ults, but these are just better, especially in the matchup. Is Semi-Bubble target? Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, it's okay. But 275 HP in a teleport helps out a lot. So yes, but not as much as Cassidy. Let's put it that way. You don't value the shield break with fan there. I mean, it's fine, but you're 250 HP versus a Sojourn with Rail. Like, it just, at this level, Cassidy just gets destroyed by dive post 25 HP nerf most of the time. So we'll see. Okay, let's see how the space control happens here. Everybody rolls out in here because this high ground is, this sightline is so freaking valuable. It's the difference between this and ranked. Sorry, Cassidy, Sim, these characters are better up close, so in theory, you'll be able to see Alcad kind of brute force this first fight here, get some teleport, some TPs here, or some turrets, sorry. We'll see what goes on. Cass is like a DPS in, kind of, sort of, yeah. A little bit. Benefits a lot from Pocket. There's some early pressure on Junbin, that's really good. They don't force Bubble out, though, and Ziad, I think, falls. Yeah, Ziad falls. Weird. But yeah, as long as they can keep that, there's the Winston bubble, so that's good. They just need to not get too invested in, yeah, and see, this is what we want to see. Don't get too invested in chasing Winston, because where is the value elsewhere? And you can see it right here. A lot of pressure here, but Leb does not fooled. He knows why Junbin's doing this and what Crazy Raccoon is going to do. They're going to put the Echo up top right. They're going to swing Lip wide with Chorong, and then and Lip just ready for it, right? So they're looking at the, you see right there, bam, right there. They're ready for it. So that's a good, honestly, a pretty good swing push there from Crazy Raccoon. They get the bait, they get the angle set up. Lip just ready for it and hits the shots, man. He's just ready for it. They actually had a map control disadvantage, but they knew, and this is, again, this, you're noticing a pattern here in EMEA. They lose the map control to the superior dive characters. They know that it's going to happen. They look for it, and then they punish it. Lip shouldn't have died here. He just wasn't ready for it. Teleport to high ground, denies some quote-unquote staging, and then you could drop your Zarya to set up your own off angle while keeping 1 or 2 people in height. And man, wow. And they just use their teleport to take different angles, to take different spaces, to deny staging. Yeah, it's good stuff. Really, really, really good stuff. I would be surprised to see any major swaps here. Maybe Winston gets swapped, but I really don't even think that's necessary here. Let's see what we got here. How are they going to hold space here? How are they going to take space? Kiriko here. They're thinking about teleport. Oh, no. What happens there? What is Checkmate doing? So he gets surrounded? And he just dies? Don't even know what he's getting. Okay, he gets angled by the Echo? Weird. And then he gets poked out? Weird. They're going to Kitsune 4v5. And this works because Junbin gets a little sloppy. Sim down. Junbin just goes? That's so stupid. Chill, my friend. Worst case scenario, you jump top. You bubble here, zap, drop, be more patient, buy some time here. Isco Disco, thank you for this up. Tell me Cassidy is strong when his winner is off. Cassidy's really strong if you know the limits and strengths of his weaknesses. Like in pro play, having a hit scan or a range character plus a close range character is way too valuable not to have that. Yeah, Cassidy's by far the weakest character in this composition in a vacuum, for sure. He's just a solution for this current situation here. There's a lot of characters that are played in pro metal occasionally that are not actually that good in a vacuum. They're just needed, right? But yeah, this is just way rushed from Junbin. He's not even full HP, I don't believe, when he goes in. And he's enough. He's enough. He just gets smoked. Just really sloppy. He just needs to go top. Play patiently. Give Heeseng some time to cook. Landon just catches him with his pants down, right? This is why 4v5s are not insta-win, right? You don't have a lot of space here from Heeseng just yet. You've not staged your Winston just yet. It's just a feed from Junbin, just a feed. And Junbin just completely explodes. And then now not only is it a 4v4, but it's a 4v4 with an active ultimate. And so they should probably, yeah, there's their split push. Look at the split push, right? Split push, split push. They're all clumped, but Ziad walks main, Cassidy, whatever, Kiriko checks Mark's angle at the same time. Check it. You can see it. Zarya walks forward, split push on left side, zone backline forces them out, then they turn around and check their angles. They always do their homework. Were they not expecting Lane to have ultimate yet? Probably not, but even without ult, you cannot do that. Even without ult, you need to be more deliberate and patient there. A little bit of charge there. And by the way, we talked about the charge, right? That it's ridiculous to see Zarya that this charge, he's gonna explode again. Oh, it's tough, man. Winston is the carry or the definition of a feeder if you get your timing wrong. Really, that particular one's whatever, but that last fight was a completely unforced error. Okay. How are Alcad gonna hold here? Are they gonna take high ground? Have a split hold here. He's saying again going crazy mode. That's a Spilo flank if I ever saw one. A lot of damage. Do they teleport? No, they actually speed at her. Oh my gosh! Checkmate! Insanely important that they get that. So they actually amp speed out to push the angle. Remember, this is the classic EMEA. We don't mark off angles, we run at them. So they run at the angle. And not only do they force him out, which would have been good enough value, but they actually kill him. Calyx gets killed on them chase backwards, though. What are they going to do? They're going to push top? No, they're going to swing high. Was this going to be a noon? No. So they're going to take one angle with teleport, leave the Cassidy behind. Who's on that angle now? Who's on that angle? Who's on that angle? Is it just Sem? Yeah, just Sem. Just Sem. Leave the casted Kiriko behind. Zarya forcing point. Great Graviton Surge. Suzu's there. It's too late. You cannot get a grav. You cannot get grabbed on the other side of that wall. That's really unlucky from Chorong. He actually gets caught on the other side of the wall. And then Lebda's still holding space in the back. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the EMEA angles right here. This is your EMEA angles. You see, number one, you see them speed back and chase out an off angle while leaving their tank to hold point. They get the kill or they don't get the kill, either way. Then they teleport Symmetra to apply pressure from the flank while leaving their Zarya on point and then leaving their cast plus pocket on here to poke this way, right? And so they can get pressure on the Winston, pressure onto the flank here, and that Winston is unable to zone off the entire backline. And then also this backline is unable to fully stabilize because they're continually getting alt fire spam by Symmetra. And then because of that, they can't really isolate Ziad, who's able to stay relatively healthy here. You see this? Because if Cassie took the teleporter, the Winston's just going to drop and just isolate this Zarya. And then that means that there's Sim follow-up, there's Zarya alt fire follow-up, and then worst case scenario, Checkmate can just teleport back. And that teleport there, if they don't break it in time, they can even just teleport away from it as well.
How did they not expect this, though? To be honest, we've seen things like this before from Crazy Raccoons. They have made it work before. They have made me a believer when I doubted them the most. So I won't give up faith just yet. CR, 5 ultimates.
All right, this is the layering. Not having Grav here sucks. I mean, it was a great Grav, absolutely worth doing it, but this is like, Grav is like, again, one of those quote-unquote support ults where it really helps you live and force ults in an awkward situation. So, I'm curious to see how Alcad does this. This feels like a Alcad bait disengage situation right now, where it's like, they have Copy, Sojol, Primal, Beak. You cannot match them toe-to-toe, not with Semwall, not because these ults aren't going to do anything versus this. It's just not going to do anything. So this feels like if you can bait, disengage one of these, then you dramatically increase your chances of winning. Like literally double. Just one of these. So let's see. There's the early hold. The beat is used. The beat is forced in response. Teleport has not been used, or no, it has been used. Oh dear, that's bad. They're just going to run it down. Bubbles are used. Graviton, or Zarya copy, sorry. Pretty spooky. There's the teleport. Can they disengage? Can they disengage? Can they disengage? They can. They can. They disengaged it. They disengaged it. Huge. Look at it. Right there. Bam. Get out, 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 out. Ziad gets caught, but that's okay. Ziad can get pocketed. Ziad can get simwalled. And because of this, because they're able to scoot their cheeks out, they no longer had a pincer. They're only on tank. So there's their Kitsune rush. Now, all Alcad need to do right now is live. Just be patient. We still have point. Noon for zoning value. There's no real way for Junmin to force Primal Rage over here. There's no DPS flank behind that I'm aware of, especially because we just still have Heesang and Grav, or in Zarya. Lip doesn't really have a good angle. We could just play this one nice and patient. You see, there's no real angle push here, right? From a... Oh, no! Honestly, this is what I talked about EMEA, man. They're so freaking good at knowing the situations and baiting. My criticism here, so let's look at this from how well Alcad played it. Yes, we saw it. Now let's criticize some Crazy Raccoon, okay? First things first. Versus a team with speed boost. This is not a good enough of an off angle. This is just very much kind of try to catch some quote-unquote overextending and run it down with beat. Okay, not good enough. Second thing here. If you're going to layer here with your Zarya, Sojourn needs to be literally egoing the entire composition, doing whatever she wants. I went lip, not here. I went lip on backline right now. I went lip literally behind me to the right, just going all the way in. He's probably got double slide at this point as well. Like, there's just not near enough punish from the rest of Crazy Raccoon in anything here. Yeah, they tried to go too early. They went before they had their setup. And so then Alcat is just in a great spot to quote unquote catch the engage without really any punish because there's just no off angle pressure. And if you don't get your primal rage to be able to set that up, right? Like if you don't get the value that you want there, then you're cooked. It was just very rushed and Alcat punished it so hard. A lot of what Crazy Raccoon has done, going back to even first point, has felt very rushed. The early death from Lip first fight felt very unearned. Junbin's follow-up after getting up one. This past fight here, where the early, like the lack of space control from top, and then this fight here, it feels like Crazy Raccoon's just rushing so much, not setting up their space, not patiently taking space. Yeah, a lot of cheating. A lot of cheating. Right, exactly. Just running it down. I don't care if you have 5 layers, if the enemy team is able to kite one with a symmetric teleport and then force you into overextending, right? It's tough. Like, even this, like, very aggressive posturing here, but this could get teleported here. This is better, though. See, the difference between this is the only solution Alcat here is teleporter. Look at the split here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's just nowhere for Alcat to go if they don't get that teleport. It's good. That was better. And it's such a good staging that they don't even need to use the thing here. You're going to notice something, that like a lot of the deaths from Alcat they were unable to get the teleport off in time. And if you can catch Alcat in rotation, you will catch Alcat without an off angle. I want you to think back to Shambali, right? I want you to think back to Busan, when they swapped to that sim, Cass, and then before they could teleport again, they got poked up by Wuing, right? If you can catch Alcat in rotation, almost what happened the last fight, it's like what Crazy Raccoon tried to do in that big ult fight, but they just couldn't quite do it. You know? You just have to get them in rotation. Otherwise, it's a bit of an issue.
Something that Crazy Raccoon, you needed a fight here to stop the bleeding, so to speak, because it seemed like Alcat was going to run away with this one. Say now, yeah, Alcat doesn't really have much to work with here, Jake. They need a few more like that, Matt. Different approach this time from Katsuya. The choke, they take tons of damage like that, Matt.
All right, did they hit them on rotation? Yes. Suzu, Bell, teleports used. Angles are set. This is looking pretty good for Crazy Raccoon. But Junmin gets booped out of his bubble and then explodes. Maybe my criticism here is just more along the lines of like, yeah, sure, you could kill this, but like, you better darn well get follow-up now. I don't know that Crazy Raccoon were super postured to fight here. I think the bait teleporter really scares them badly. And then it's really only 2 people fighting in this rotation. Then Junman gets booped out of bubble by Kellex. So I don't know. It's spooky. It's a very, very compressed area of the map to fight as Winston, Echo, Sojourn. So I question where that fight took place with the old economy that they had. So staging wasn't perfect. Timing wasn't perfect. Pretty decent response from Alcat. And so, you know, they kind of squeak it out, but it's ugly and it costs them an ultimate as well. You want something cleaner than that. I don't know about Ball. I don't know about Ball. I don't think Winston's bad here. I don't understand these jumps though. I will be honest with you guys. I really don't understand these jumps here. I don't understand these jumps. This dive screams somebody's won, my Sojourn or Echo are staged on backline, and or I have primal or support ult. This is just a complete feed. I'm not going to sugarcoat this one. Other one, it feels like, kind of feels like more of a team choice of where they were fighting. I don't understand this one at all. They're staged around point. They still have people that are just coming back from spawn, and he just runs it down. And there's nobody from Crazy Raccoon here at all. I don't even know if that lip is on the right side. Even if he was, I don't think his sightline's that good. This just seems like such a massive int. Like, just a massive int. There's nobody there. Maybe the plan was to bubble him, but I think he still dies, man. It's just a really poor dive. So maybe they clutch this out through just sheer mechanics and follow-up here, but That's a concerning sign there if you're a Crazy Raccoon fan in this situation where, like, they just look totally lost. Beats used? Oh, Calyx. It's just not fast enough to save Ziad. And messy from both teams. Really, really messy. It's just a bad dive from Junbin, man. Just rushing things so incredibly much. I don't know. Let them come in, man. Let them come in. Let your Echo Soj. Like, you need those guys to have setups for this stuff to work. It's just all or nothing every single dive.
After embracing OTP status,
nice, Rag. Congratulations.
I fought my way back into Masters. Quick question.
Yes, Rag. It can be depending on the map. Depending on the map. If you're not really getting your hands dirty, the map allows a lot of rotations. It can be. Yeah. Okay. Big ult layering here. Kitsune Primal. You see, this is the kind of stuff. Do you see the difference in this setup here? It's a very small difference. I want you guys to look at the difference in this setup. From Junmin just ints. Junmin just runs it down. But look at the difference. You see the difference? Can you guys see that? I'll remove my face cam. You see it? Do you see what's on the right there? Look at the Soj stage. Look at the echo angle. There's a Kiriko over there, I believe, as well. Yeah, Kiriko is a little bit more shallow there. Do you see it? So not only do we, quote-unquote, have Old Second close the gap here, obviously. Primal Rage, yeah. But even without Primal Rage here, look at the angle that they have here, right? This is what's been missing. This is what was missing on the second point. This is what was missing on the third point. This is what was missing on the first point. I think the first point, it was more there, but it was just a question of timing things a little bit. My coaching team for the upcoming World Cup, I'm not planning on it. So Junmin, this is stiff. This is fine. Run it down here if you want to, because we got the staging for it now. So Lannon explodes. That's a rail right there. That's a rail. That's not Junmin. That's Sojourn. It is Junmin, but it's also the rail. Do you see he doesn't even need to primal? Do you see this? Do you see this? The difference? Do you see the difference? It's just a staging question. It's a setup question. And it doesn't need to take 6 years. Just angle go. You have speed boost as well. And I think the idea is that they're trying to get these timings right before teleporter, right? Like kind of catching Alcad with their pants down, because teleporter does take time to set up. But then we need more urgency. So Junmin is definitely feeding. Definitely bad. But it might not just be Junbin. It might also be the urgency from the other members of Crazy Raccoon in terms of setting this stuff up. But whatever the case may be, Junbin's paying the price for it. Because this is just so incredibly, like, this was good. Like, I want to highlight this last fight. Perfect. Great job. Where has that been? Where has that been? Urgency. Get your echo angle, go. Get your Sojourn angle, go. Get your echo angle, go. As long as we have a layer to go. And really, you don't even have to be super complicated with it. I honestly think that if Crazy Raccoon sets up a good ult push, your ult are so much easier. Like echo copy, primal, these are so much more consistent and easy to set up than these two in this particular matchup. You don't even need particularly like complicated macro understanding. Just go. You see, they try to do it again. Right? But look, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see it? It's good. I just think this is outplayed by Alka. They teleport right before, and they teleport right at the angle. So that's just an outplay, right? Great. But you see, despite the outplay, they're still dying. Uh-oh. Wait, where's Shu? I don't think Shu has anywhere to go. I think they're all clumped. That's a really, really bad copy. I think he tries to copy Zarya and ends up catching the Lucio instead, which is a big deal because whenever you're copying Echo, you either need lethality or uptime, and Lucio doesn't really have either. He doesn't even get the beat off, so he's kind of like, there's just not enough punish there. But that being said, Primal Rage, they're able to close the gap. They have the staging. If they have the mechanics here, this should still be a fight win for Crazy Raccoon, and it is.
Okay, Crazy Raccoon pulling this map back. Finally, Perks online. Seemed to have activated this composition and Katsuya the trade.
It's good rotation from Alcad. Great punish by Crazy Raccoon mechanically. It's just such an unbelievably, incredibly difficult thing to live. Maybe, I mean, I don't know, dude. You don't have a single support ult and you're going to copy Primal Rage. Symbol's just not enough, man. It just isn't a good ult in this situation. Literally, the only thing you could maybe do there is try to bait the rotation or bait the ult and then disengage. So maybe that's the play here. Maybe Alcad here needs to instead try to play to bait and punish, like because he's committing, right? They are really like Junman just really wants to get this Primal Rage off. I bet if you amped backwards, you could force Primal Rage and just disengage it. They even leave the Cassidy behind. So maybe it's a question of like maybe the wrong plan for the situation. A teleport through and then just commit on an angle is a fight plan that you want to do when you have a support ult advantage, or at least they're even, right? When you remember how Alcad played the 2 points ago where they were operating at a slight ultimate disadvantage, they played kind of more to back up, bait Crazy Raccoon into overextending. That's exactly what they did, right? I think this is the wrong fight plan. The only thing that works here is if you one-shot somebody on the off angle, which can be a little bit challenging to do. So I don't think it's a bad fight plan. It's a good one. It just may not be the best one given the situation. Makes sense? You don't necessarily want to close the gap with a team that has both copy and primal. Because even though I criticize the copy, he does get out. You know, he gets out, he doesn't die. And that's really what you're looking for here.
Just putting down the damage. Primal is good from Junbin. And it's enough to hold on to this point. So, okay, Crazy Raccoon pulling this map back. Finally, Perks online. Feels lost.
All right, Alcad still doesn't really have their support ult spike. They desperately need beat. And so what are they going to do? Quick teleport again, and again, they just rush it. Do you notice again, though? Like, they actually have split pushes here. Echo, Sojourn, Kiriko, Winston. They teleport on backline. They disengage it. The bubble hits the teleport. No.
This time it feels like desperation. It feels like they're getting sloppy. Lips up to a 15 streak.
Yeah, a lot of Alcad stuff has just been kind of teleporting at angles and hoping it works, and Crazy Raccoon is adjusting. To be fair, they did get the ult up. Maybe they just wanted to take a fast fight and play for the final point with a better ult economy, but yeah.
Come down to the final rounds. Maybe we should have always expected between these two teams. Crazy Raccoon have nothing in the tank, but neither do Katsuya. 86.
Now, this point is better for Zarya than Winston. It's a little bit more compressed, so let's see what happens. Teleport to point. Split, push the off angle. This time it works. Lip is too slow to rotate out. He's too slow to slide. Unforced error. We've seen a couple of those today. Now, I say unforced error. That's a little bit facetious. It is a good teleport. It's a good flip, but Lip should never die there. He should be forced out, but should never die. Check the angle. Check the angle. And then now the support ults have kind of stabilized, and then Graviton Surge is the third support ult, right? And so you definitely favor Alcad in the situation here. You can't possibly keep up anybody alive with 3 for 2 layering here if it's played correctly. Early pressure, disruptor shots used. So this is going to be a really important split push here because we might not see a lot of a split push. I say this will be a very important split because we're probably not going to see as much of a quote unquote push here from Alcad. So you're going to see Cass, Kiriko, beat push. Kiriko teleports out. Beat is used. I don't even know how Lebda catches. Wait. Where's the teleport here? Wow. So Calyx is somehow able to give everybody beat, despite being on either sides of a bubble. So that's really impressive. And then this is just be layering diff. They just go. They just try to one-shot. Should just be cooked there. It's a good try. I think maybe my one criticism here is where's Crazy Raccoon's angle? Oh, they have an angle. They have an angle. They have an angle. There's your Echo angle up top here. Yeah, I mean, it's a good try. It's somebody, he's saying gets shot. Who gets shot? Dude, freaking, okay, I think it's checkmate. Yeah, it's checkmate. Dude, freaking checkmate. Holy crap. It's so hard to like quantify these little moments, especially without a replay viewer, because I was gonna be critical of Crazy Raccoon's just aggressive push here without an angle setup, but they actually did have an angle setup. They had Heesang, but Checkmate hits, I think, 2 orbs on him here, right here. If you watch his HP, bam, and then again, bam. And so then Heesang is almost completely AFK that fight. Somehow he gets beat, but he's unable to really synchronize his pressure. And then crucially, as his beat HP decays, he's not really involved very deep. And so there really isn't any pressure this way here at all. I'm wondering if it would have been better for Lip to go on the flank there instead, just given the range of the character. But to be honest with you, yeah, see, like Heesang's not really a factor there as much. But yeah, I mean, good catch by Alcad. They had the superior layering. Oh, they're going to commit here. They get the... And then Landon's going to use his Kitsune just to guarantee it, which I think is correct. Crazy Raccoon does get a bit of point flip there, but good layering from both teams, but superior ult economy. Yeah.
They get the flip back. The eventual fight win. Yeah, Alcatia actually never gets control of the point first here. It's actually somehow Crazy Raccoon, they are actually able to use that rush, push them back.
All right, neutral game versus Primal. High Noon's okay versus Primal, but can you keep your Cassie alive versus Sojeko? You know, let's see. Will they set it up? Early bubble. There's the teleport flip. There's the Zarya lagging behind. So they're going to off angle. They're going to flip the map. Zarya on main backline here. So they flip the map. That kind of ruins the Primal staging. Ziad is low. He's getting off angled. But then they're just putting Lebda on the flank there. I think Lebda's just lurking. Where is Lebda? Right there. Yeah, just Lebda just holds it. He just pops it. Oh. Devolved fight Cassidy. It's really good with that bubble support. That sucks. That teleport flip was really nice. That really screwed with Crazy Raccoon's setup there. That's the thing there. That's where it's not just you know, Crazy Raccoon sucks, right? That teleport flip just completely screws up. Uh-oh, Calyx? Uh-oh, Calyx? Uh-oh. That looked like a Kiriko headshot, maybe? They need to disengage that. There it is. Oh, my days. That is so incredibly valuable. You literally trade one ult for one person, and you get no follow-up, and Calyx is almost already respawned again. Huge. Heesang goes Pharah. I actually like the Pharah swap here a lot for the point. I think this is actually a point swap. I think it's a point swap. I think Pharah is a bit better here with her verticality, and she's pretty good versus this comp too. I actually like that swap a lot. But we got some layering problems, guys. They got 3 for 2 coming up here. Can they punish this rotation? I mean, we know they can. We know they lose this, but and Alcad knows it. Alcad knows that they got to be careful here. Oh, no. Out. Do not stagger. And this is where Alcad needs to be comfortable using ults to get out if necessary, even if they get kited. Cause chaos. It's fine. Walk. You could even sim wall. You could even teleport sim wall right now. Do it. There it is. Use it now. Checkmate now. Now. Checkmate now. I'm shocked that they did not use the Kitsune, the sim wall sooner than that. But yeah, regardless. Kitsune rush, sim wall. They're going to beat engage. Beat hits. They layer beat on top. Ziad gets grav. They're going to just walk at Junbin and blow him up. And then they don't even need grav. That's it. It's too strong layer. You cannot beat this combo here. Simwall's unironically good in this particular situation. We don't have Primal Rage. Crazy Raccoon is unable to punish the rotation because Alcad plays it too well.
How do you fight through it? He's going to play it, forcing this cap. Simwall as well, the beat through. Crazy Raccoon chooses to dive in. Garcia with the response to beat. Ziad finds one. He's got the grab as well. That's enough. Garcia. 2 kills on the deck. The grab on
wow.
And
yeah.
Garcia go up 2-1 in the series.
Crazy. I think if you're Crazy Raccoon there, I don't think you're super upset with how that last point went. It is a very difficult, and I do think Alcad played it well. But man, you got to be wanting that first point back. You got to be wanting that first point back, for sure. And Alcad just outplayed him. The counterplay is that you cannot let these guys rotate like this. I think that you just actually have to pretend that we're fighting in spawn right now. I think you have to pretend that we're fighting in spawn.
Another hurdle to jump.
Like, I think that there needs to be, even consider throwing Junbin's life away here. I think you go in, you go aggressive, or you go super patient mode. You need to go one extreme or the other. The problem here is they don't do either. They don't go super patient. Because you've seen both Simmel and Kitsune rush here, and they choose to beat engage. I have no idea why. And then, to make matters worse, Junbin jumps and bubbles. I have no idea. They had point cap to give away. It's like you either need to aggressively die in their spawn and play for chaos, or don't beat engage when you can give away point. Like, they just blew Kitsune and Simmel instantly. You can at least wait out 2 or 3 seconds of value there. You know, maybe bubble trade on corner, jump out, have Hisang or somebody else touch, or even just let them get the flip. It wasn't really well played from Crazy Raccoon in terms of layering, and this is just where I think like EMEA is just better in a lot of these situations. They just know how to approach these fights in these more like ult layering matchups better. Yeah, you either need to take extreme risks, but an extreme risk could be playing ridiculously safe as well. Like, I don't think Alcad would expect that, right? And even if they could, then you're wasting a lot of their ult value here, right? So it's just strange. Like, you need time for your superior angle advantage to kind of create opportunities, and they just never gave them time. Junbin just never gave them time. Junbin had a really bad map this series. A lot of poor staging from Crazy Raccoon. Alcad played their layering just better. Junbin just looked really, really sloppy. A lot of unforced errors. A lot of unforced errors here. But it's not just all Junbin either. It just a lot of unforced errors from Crazy Raccoon as a whole. And Alcad just was better, man. Okay, so this is the real saucy one here. I don't know if they're rusty on Winston. I just don't think that they knew how to play the sim stuff, man. I think what happens... Here's what happens. This is a classic thing that happens all players of all ranks, okay? Let me kind of give you guys an example, and you guys will know what I'm talking about. Imagine that you're playing and ranked, and you know the other guy's like a Malga OTP. And you're like, guys... we need to really do a good job of like shoot the Malga when he doesn't have cardiac. Shoot the Malga when he doesn't have cardiac. Shoot, you know. So like you get in your mindset of like, we're going to go Orisa, we're going to go Ana, you know, we're going to shoot the Malga. And you have like this mindset of like a tip or a strategy that we've learned that works really well, right? The problem then is that what happens is because you're so fixated on this particular matchup or this tip or trick or car queue, or you watch that one Spilo coaching video, you know, and it talks about matchups, that you like really fixate on that particular macro matchup, micro thing, whatever, and then you stop playing the game. You kind of start behaving, it starts affecting how you make decisions outside of that, you know? And I think what happens here is, like in the previous point, Crazy Raccoon had an idea of how they wanted to play it, which was deep DPS angles, when we can, which when they were able to do that, it worked well. But it felt like there was this mindset of like, let's out-tempo sim teleport. Let's try to make the teleport disengages and engages really awkward and uncomfortable. Like, if we can make the teleports bad or screw them up, then we will beat the symmetric teleport. And that is not bad advice. That is good advice. Big Cheese Boss, think of the sub, dude. It's good advice. It's a great thing to do. And it's worked many times. But it worked when they had the other things set up. Like they had the ult layering, or they had the deep DPS angle, or whatever else. So the problem is that we're thinking too much like, what is our win con versus Symmetra? Like, what is our strategical compositional advantage? Which is a good thing to think about. But you can't go in 5v4 without any cooldowns or without an ultimate when they have an ultimate layer. You can't do that out-tempo their symmetric teleport if you have somebody still coming back from spawn, or you don't have a deep DPS angle. And you can't do that if you have a massive ultimate layering disadvantage to where they're going to catch and kill your Winston because they just have Kitsune and you don't. You know? So when you fixate only on your compositional advantage and stop thinking like reasonably about how to play the game, take an angle, they have support ults, we don't. That's why Overwatch is hard. Because, yeah, absolutely. I think the best way to describe it is like Crazy Raccoon were playing the compositional matchup correctly, but they weren't playing Overwatch correctly. Does that make sense? Trying to screw up teleports is a great idea. Great plan. But you need a DPS angle. You need a DPS angle. And if you don't have the ultimate layering, you might need to come up with something else. Because that's that's why Junman was feeding. That's why Junman was feeding. He was trying to do the right thing in a vacuum, but that's without context. That's why it was so inconsistent. Right, and sometimes even when Crazy Raccoon did it correctly, it still doesn't always work because Alcad is so good. So you need to never ever give Alcad a free fight win, like so many times we saw there. So that's a tricky thing. It happens. Okay, Symmetra ban here. Crazy Raccoon's going to pull them to King's Row. Sure. Whip in the max. Brigitte ban, which means that you can run D.Va pretty effectively here. You know, Brigitte is really, really good versus D.Va. Lots of armor packs, whip shots, shield bash, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to see some Kiri Lucio stuff. D.Va, Kiri Lucio. Sojourn, for sure. Makes sense. And then really just down to what tanks want to be played here. King Row was a bad pick for Crazy Raccoon here. Well, let's look at the map pool here. Blizzard World, Midtown. I mean, what else would you run? I think the argument would be you run Winston again, maybe? But you do it with a Symmetra ban? That seems reasonable, maybe. Because you could ban Symmetra and pull them to like a Blizzard World, maybe. Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. Because you could definitely run Winston, Tracer, and Blizzard World for sure. But then, yeah, that's pretty reasonable. If he goes to third point, it gets messy for sure. But first and second point are very much die favored, and I could see Winston, Sojourn, Tracer, Kiriko, Lucio. I mean, you could honestly even run on a Brig if you're Crazy Raccoon. You could run on a Brig and make it work. Sojourn, Tracer, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fair shot from Under, to be honest. Yeah. So this seems like maybe a bit of a, maybe not ego. That's a really, really bad term to use here, but maybe Crazy Raccoon's confident in their scrim results here. Could Crazy Raccoon run the ball in Blizz? You could, but I probably prefer the Winston. But yeah. Especially with the Symmetra ban, you just run Winston and just run around the map. So, okay, let's take a look. Zarya's good in the matchup here. Pretty good in the matchup. High ground's really good for D.Va though. So the only problem with Zarya here is it is a little bit easier. You don't really have a DPS that you can pocket, and there are a lot of DPS that can go around Zarya here, and supports can go around Zarya. So we will see. We will see. I don't have really any complaints here. Echo's good in this first point. Sojourn, Tracer. Okay. Well, here's the real question here is are EMEA Symmetra reliant?
On to Katsuya, and with no Sim to worry about, he's gonna have free reign. Katsuya gonna have to punish these DPS, but it's Lip and Heathang you're talking about. Far from easy catches. I will say though, with this Zarya in play for Crazy Raccoon, right?
D.Va mark angle, high ground control. D.Va controlling that choke, trying to gatekeep. Oh my gosh.
Now I wouldn't actually be surprised if we see a May potentially from Alcatia. Oh, part of the round is checkmate. Just gets his head ripped off there by Lip. Just snapping him like a twig, and Siad trying to mark these DPS, but without Tracer. Just feels impossible. Max steps up to the plate.
It's a good disengage from Alcad though. Good disengage. There's a way for, and here comes the Alcad special, man. Here comes the Alcad special. This is why they're built different, man. They know their splits, right? Let's look at the split here. Kiri D.Va, Speed boost. We'll probably see Checkmate either go for touch or probably, more importantly, go into here first and then play for touch. Diva Kiriko go top. Soj Lucio play patiently here. Tracer blinks in through here. Let's see how they do it.
Walk right up on Choose Kiriko.
Heeseng is staged. Yeah, see, Checkmate gets into the room. That's some good shots from Heeseng. Holy crap. Lots of off-angling, though. This is the problem with the Zarya. She's pretty much isolated here, and they've surrounded her really well, and there it is, right? Now, the question here is, why was there not enough punish? Where's Lip? Maybe Zarya could have disengaged this one a little bit cleaner, like maybe not played so deep on the point. But I mean, that is the advantage of divas. Like, you can kind of surround and stage, and I don't know, just there wasn't a lot of punishment. I mean, but honestly, like, the trade is not bad. Like, you, but man, they always split retake, man. Okay, they got him. The Calix gets him. There's your Curie value right there, or your Lucio value, just to be able to finish off those kills. Yeah, just a really good split retake there from Alcad, and I don't even know if I really want to blame Max there all that much. Maybe Max could have played a little bit more patiently there, so backing off this direction rather than this direction. But I mean, Crazy Raccoon just didn't have off-angle control. They just didn't. And that's partly due to the fact that they have to put somebody on point, and partly due to Alcad's retake was just freaking perfect. Like, freaking perfect. Lucio Sojourn on main, Tracer just solo flank deep, Diva Kiriko on the flank. It's perfect. It's really good. You're playing the strengths of your character. That's the downside of Zarya. We said you're a spectator if the enemy team plays it perfectly well, and they did. So, you know, we can sit here and criticize Max, but I honestly just think it was really well played by Alcad, and we're going to see Heeseng go Tracer instead. Wow.
Not where you want to be. Not where you want to be whatsoever. And that's a huge clutch hold from Alcatraz.
Why haven't we seen much Hazard's competition? I mean, Hazard. This is what happens, guys. Okay, let me kind of break down. Really quick side note. Pro team figures out this character is OP. Character gets abused. Character gets abused. Character gets abused. You ever seen that milking meme? Oh, and the skinny cow, you know, like, come here, feller. It's like a meme, you know, like milking it dry. That's basically the pro meta with like one hero. They'll play the character even when the character's not even strong anymore. That's the only thing that they know. They just go back and they 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 go back. Finally, the character is, they have to confront with the fact that the character is actually not all that good anymore. And then they move on. It's like the character doesn't even exist anymore. So is Hazard good right now in the pro meta? I don't think so. I think he's fine. I just don't think he's near as good as Zarya Diva for sure. But this is also how pro metas go. They refuse to drop characters that are objectively weaker. They just stick with the characters, and then the second that they forget about you, they're done for a while. They're done for a while. And right now, when there's characters that are old favorites or characters that are just, and they're just going to go back to Ram Diva. So I think Hazard's fine. I just don't think that he's as strong in the vacuum right now. So
he's saying actually now, Jake, goes over to the Tracer. I actually kind of like this for Alcatraz. I think you need it to be able to tango.
Yeah, so the Tracer feels a bit more necessary maybe here because you need something that can be more consistent at contesting space if you're going to run the Zarya on point. She's a bit more sustainable. What the frick? Dude, I love this so much. Like, can I just talk about this for a second? So they have a split push here. Diva goes up the top. Then Sojourn doesn't slide in and go for the kill. Sojourn slides to a different location, to a different off angle at the same time. And then what that does is that in theory can isolate Heeseng, which then means Heeseng's kind of stuck in the back, which forces an early recall. Then they're going to Kitsune Rush on point, but they have the Kitsune Rush towards point as well. And now Crazy Raccoon Kitsune Rush is on point, but they're still surrounded on all sides. And so if Lebda, or Checkmate just uses the height, Lebda can just use the ult here. The only thing that's missing here is Kelix needs beat, and I don't know if he's going to get it. Ah, Checkmate gets it. That was really well played by both teams, I'm not going to lie. Maybe? Nah, probably not here for Alcad. It's a good try though. It's really pretty clever stuff there.
Okay, surely not. And Crazy Raccoon closed out first point, but that is way too close for comfort. Katsuya showing They have incredible.
I don't think Hazard nerf was. I think Hazard nerf was more about shifting his identity a little bit rather than nerfing him, because they lowered his jump cooldown by a tiny bit as well. I think like the Hazard nerf was pretty fair because it just feels like being able to shoot through headshot through block if you're skilled enough to do it. It's not a bad thing, you know, if that makes sense. They didn't buff him enough, yeah, but I also don't think he's massively underperforming either, so it's fine. May swap is kind of cool. Definitely more of a point-specific thing, where like this is a really compressed space. That's just why Ziyad goes Ram, right? So, and also I think it's probably a Zarya thing as well. So I think if Max is on D.Va here, I think they probably stay Tracer, D.Va, but they're gonna go Ram. There's your split push again on the retake. They're gonna mark Tracer here. Ram needs to apply pressure here so that they can 2v1 Tracer. If they can do that, then that's going to allow these guys to use their superior angle here. There's really no ult layering to speak of from Alcad. So Alcad just needs to kind of make something happen here and hopefully get 2 ults out. I'm probably looking for Pulse here, is he saying. He's probably going to go for it on the Mei. They're going to grab. It's a little too cheap. It's a little too cheap. It's not bad to make that swap there, but I would have liked something a little bit more chaotic in terms of the setup there. Maybe even like a, I wouldn't have minded if he's saying, or he's saying, I say, Checkmate would have, I wouldn't have minded like a Mei wall to high ground there on your retake. Just given the old economy, right? Like, let's not go and wall the tank and kill the tank. It's not going to happen, right? So, like, Checkmate walling himself up to here, you know, right above this mini health pack, being kind of more baity. He's too easy to access here, and he's the main grab target here. Like, you need to be more careful there. And I think the reason why Landon gets grabbed is because he's worried about Checkmate. So that's kind of a misplay, I think, positionally from Checkmate there. Strongest 6 on the ladder right now? Depends on what rank. Probably still Zarya. Probably still Ball. I mean, you could just don't even take my word for it. Just look it up. Ryan is really, really good in low mid ranks still. So, will they even be able to retake reasonably here? I mean, Mei definitely helps. So there's the angle set up. There's the angle set up with Lucio Mei. Again, the split push, man. That just, it's so good to see this. It's so nice to see a non-Korean team doing this consistently. And it's like, I have such confidence now. Like, I've been proven over and over again that these guys will do it. So if you're going to win a new ult fight, this is going to be how you're going to do it. Landon marking the angle. Gets a little bit of help from Lucio. Mei's established. He goes right back. And then not only that, so this is the crazy part. So, like, this is actually a really cool little detail, which I guess I haven't really talked about ever before. Watch it how this is done. So Lucio does the big no-no thing, which is crossing lanes, right? So he crosses lanes to peel Landon. Watch this. But what then they do is they swap positions. So Lucio peels off Kiriko, and then Lucio stays with the tank line while Kiriko teleports off to the off angle, and they just do the 2v1 over here instead. Now, it's not free to do that. It did cost you maybe your amp, or at least a little bit of a risk to cross, and cost you your teleporter. But they just, even when they're peeling each other off, they maintain a split. It's really good. They did a little bit of a switcheroo. And Kiriko's really not punishable right now with the current position, especially with the ult layering that we have coming up right now, where teleport's not as important. So Ziyad's taking a bit of a beating here, but recall's forced. Sojourn still has the position. They have the Mei off in the off angle. Kiriko still has an angle on tank while being able to support her Mei in the flank. There's your Mei wall. Sojourn ult is used. They still have a split. Pulse is used. Well done. Sojourn ult. I really like this retake from Lip here. Kitsune is going to be used on point. That's the layering that we're seeing here. Support ult is used. Can they hit anything? No, the answer is no, because they're going to use Kitsune Rush in response. To be honest, I think this is just really well played from both teams. Alcad created opportunities where they could have clutched it mechanically. They were unable to. Crazy Raccoon then just had the superior ult economy. That's all the way to look at it. Like, if both teams don't make mistakes, Crazy Raccoon's always going to win that fight, right? Just given the old economy, and that's basically what happens. So that's just the danger of making late swaps like that, like the Ram Maze. Now, we've not had Annihilation, we've not had D.Va Bomb, we've not had Pulse Bomb, we've not had Mei ult, we've just made the swap late. The big fight that you're unhappy with is the previous grab fight, which came a little bit too early.
It's just that first fight in the second part of the map. You cannot let Crazy Raccoon just snowball you through that part of the map.
The he-sing? I don't think that's he-sing, my friend. But it is pretty funny. There's your split. And so this is where Alcad must hold, because this is where, like, I think Ram feels really good here. It's a bit more spread. It's a bit tricky for Zarya. Wait, what? Does he just pull him off the map? No, he gets railed. He gets railed. He gets railed from the top. They walk forward. Lucio top. Sojourn walks. They suck him and they get him. No. It's a rail burst. I thought so too, Jake. Any swaps in third point, you think? I think May can stay. We could see probably he's saying swaps here, if anything. I think Tracer's pretty bad on third point here. But I think beyond that, probably not any swaps. You could go Echo here. You could go, you could go Genji here, but I don't know if Genji's strong enough for these guys to play him. You could definitely go Maymir as well. May on the solo flank there. They're really confident in their ult layering. So remember, when you can match ult for ult and you're not going to disengage, then you're allowed to isolate your DPS and supports on flanks without worrying about burning CDs. Beat for beat, Grav, Ram, Blizz, Soj, you don't need it. So what that means is the rich get richer, because the team that has the better ult economy can also afford to hold the better off angles. You see it? So you are more likely to win the neutral trade if you have an ultimate advantage. Whee! Which is why it's so important that you don't blow ults and you don't screw up your ult economy. Because the positions that you can hold when you know that you don't have to back up are good. And this is the face you make, and your eyes look kind of funny. Okay, so yeah. And this is tricky too, because if you're Crazy Raccoon, you do need to put resources into forcing like Ice Block and stuff, but then any resources put this way is going to be rebounded by Ziad pushing you this way. So you got to be careful. And remember, May can do things like this because she's just got so many defensive cooldowns, right? So there's the Grav, but I don't even know what Max is grabbing here. I'm not going to lie with you guys. Maybe he's trying to catch the Sojourn for sure, but it just feels a bit rushed, and freaking Ziad just body blocks it. They don't even need the freaking May wall there. And then they try to clear out the May, but Tracer's isolated. I don't know. Yeah. Not bad from Crazy Raccoon, like 1 for 1 there, and you're cool. But you definitely value the Grav a bit more over the Sojourn ult, I think. So again, shield's being used, early poke, really denies that corner, mark the Tracer. Notice how he's using the freeze as well to try to kind of line up the shots. He gets the slow, immediately goes to the icicle. More resources being put here, which means bubbles, which means all that they need to do is we might even see a beat engage here from Alcad. There it is, yeah. So they catch it right when he's coming out of Ice Block, which then means that, okay, Landon doesn't get beat, which is kind of bad. But there's the wall climb, and then beat engage is layered on top. But the problem is that beat for beat, I'm assuming that Alcad doesn't screw this up. Ram is just a bad man up close, as is Blizzard, and then they just layer it better. So it's an expensive fight from Alcad, for sure. 2 for 1. But, it works. And really, to be honest with you, Blizzard doesn't really count. Blizzard's such an inconsistent ultimate that you're hitting anything in their Ram. Yeah. Rich get richer for the Saudi team is crazy. Yeah, man. Same thing. There it is again. 1 icicle. What is Crazy Raccoon doing? They're going to run Kiriko Wuyang to poke out the Mei on the angle. Dude, Chorong is... I just... Why? Like, I think Lucio's fine here, man. Like, maybe... it's not as bad. Like, it's not terrible here. Like, it's better than Shambali. There's a little bit of space here, but it's such a... Why? Like... So... And see, this is why it's so important. Remember what forced the beat pushes the last fight? Do you guys remember what happened last fight? Do you remember what forced everything for Alcad to get a little bit stressful? It was the Lucio, right? It was the Lucio Tracer combo here. DePriest, how are you, mate? Thanks for the 28 months. It was the 2v1 that was forcing more resources on Mei. And then now that's just not there. Like, Wuyang can play here, but he's a little squishier, so he has to play a little bit further back. I just really, so then Heesang gets no help. So his recall's already forced, which then means that they can just run it down because the Mei is marking the off angle without any help. So they can just cheat because the tracer angle that should punish that push isn't relevant because Heesang is losing the 1v1 versus checkmate because he's not getting any help. You got to be a journeyman, man. You got to be an honest merchant, right? Right. Chong is afraid to be a highwayman. He's trying to be a farmer in the field, leaving Heesang alone for this banditry, right? I'd say he's trying to be the hero. He's trying to be Robin Hood instead of one of the yeomen. You know, it's like you need to be an honest salesman sometimes when you play main support. When you play that, you know, we need somebody, even if it's not flat. Like, do you think what Checkmate is doing is very flashy? No, it's cancer. It's like a war of attrition, but it's valuable. You know, frustrating for me to see this the second time too. Look at such a huge icicle there from. Oh my gosh, again, and just no help. No help. And now, once again, we have a layering ult fight that I won't say favors Alcad, but it doesn't favor Crazy Raccoon. So, we have no help here. So, dude, they're freaking putting Max! They're putting the Ramatra to clear out the Mei! Ah! Now Ziad can just pincer him from behind. There's Annihilation. There's the freeze perk. Sayonara Max. Chorong! Get off the Yang! Get off the Yang, dude! Your hero doesn't function on this point. It worked on Busan. It doesn't work here. Get off the Yang! Play the honest character. Help Heesang, you dense jackass. Holy crap. Checkmate is literally just ice blocking and hitting the occasional headshot. Wow, that's crazy. Unreal, man. Unreal. Only thing that's going Crazy Raccoon's way are these crazy little trades here, which Alcad has used nothing. Alcad has used nothing. I get it here. Okay, so this is the only thing, okay? Oh, I'm gonna ult my tracer here. You know what? Who are you gonna ult? The character with Suzu? The character with wall ride and amp or ram or ice block or double slide? Like, even the ult combo with tracer is weaker because tracer is also as herself weaker. I don't know, man. Like, the tracer is definitely the character that I was questioning in this point for sure. There's the combo. There's the beat. And then doesn't do anything. And that's it. GG's. Freaking GG's. So Tracer's weaker here, yes. But also, why are we running freaking Wuyang, bro? We're not DK. We can play Lucio. Oh my days. Just play honest Overwatch. You know? And so this really kind of goes back to like Unter's question, right? Like, if this is what we want to do, if we wanted to pull out some Wuyang or we want to run some Tracer, if we didn't want to play Mei or Sem or Venture or Genji or freaking then why are we playing King's Row? Not, you know, as when I went with Geekay, like, as in we don't have to run off meta combos. Admiral's obviously a ridiculously good Lucio. You know, it's like, why are we picking King's Row and then trying to force off meta weird non-brawl stuff in King's Row? Just go Blizzard World. You want to play Wuyang in Blizzard World? Guess what? You can. It's great on Blizzard World. It might even be playable on third point on, let's say, on Blizzard World. Run Kiriko, Wuyang, Tracer, Winston, Ball, Sojourn. I don't care. The space for that map is ridiculous. You could do anything you want. And then crucially, you could go to, what's the next game mode? Push, right? You've got Runasapi and New Queen Street. Guess what? You can run a New Queen Street and Runasapi. Wuyang, Kiriko again. Again, the spacing is there for that too. It's just bizarre that they want to pick the map and run Kiriko Lucio and then just choose not to run Kiriko Lucio. It's like they got impatient, man. They got impatient when it wasn't immediately working on third. You know, like right here, right? Like this is where they get impatient, right? They run one fight here. One fight. Well, no, they don't run one fight. But they just beef the graph. Whatever. They get impatient, and then it obviously doesn't work. So, oh dear, I skipped ahead. My bad. I don't think you could play Brig here. Not versus Ram Lucio. Not in this map. Now, I want to go back. If you were talking about Blizzard World with Winston, maybe you could play Brig there. But that we're not on the... So... Yeah, I mean, this is the... I think, like... You know, I think a lot of the bans and map picks have been fairly reasonable. I think bans especially have made a lot of sense here. But, I mean, obviously Brig is banned here because, you know, we're going to run Diva. But, like, this is the... This and Chorong on... I don't understand. I don't understand. And Alcat is just throat punching them. Like, this isn't just, oh, Crazy Raccoon's fumbling it and, you know, because it's Korea. It's like, no, Alcat is out. You can't play with Alcat anymore. You can't play with Alcat. You cannot play with EMEA. You need to do your work with your strats, with your maps, with your macro. You can't just out tempo. You actually have to do your jobs. Otherwise, EMEA is going to beat you now. So, credit to Alcat, man. Credit to freaking Checkmate. Credit to Kellex. Credit to Land. Credit to Ziad. Credit to Lebda. This has been pretty solid Overwatch all the way through, with the exception of, like I said, their second point retake, which was not that bad. It was just a question of whether making that full swap was a good choice. Now, in hindsight, it was, because it meant that they all end on third point, but it's risky. So, could have gone either way. All right. Pretty reasonable comp from both teams here. Diva just allows you to retake space. Ram's fine. This is all fine. This is all fine from both teams. Tracer stage, Sojourn stage, Kiriko stage, Diva stop. This is why you really like the Diva, because Ram can anchor on point till the cows come home, but Diva can find ways of creating chaos. And on this point, I definitely prefer the Diva a bit. Jeez, Lip just freaking dies. Where is Lip? Lip is down low. I think he must get railed. Yeah, he gets railed and then just Lebda just destroys him. Lebda just diffs him. That's a rail disruptor shot combo. That's the classic. Smoked. And then the staging from Ziad. Now, I would be a little bit more patient from Ziad if I were here. You need to be cautious because you don't want to go to... You could die for this. Oh, Ziad. Oh, yeah, that was not good. Be patient. Be patient. You got the angles. You got the staging. You have the man advantage. I would just sit here, maybe even use my missiles a little bit, and then go right back to the high ground, get pocket, and then one more round, you get in there, you pump it, but he just goes a bit early. This is what Junmin did on first point on Suravasa. You need to chill, my friend. So your tempo was wrong. And so, feels like such an unforced error there. Now, I like what he's doing here. They're like, all right, well, you know what? Screw it. I screwed up. Just go. Just go. And so he just go. That's actually a really good play from Ziad to bail out, because he does actually do some... He causes some chaos here. Sojourn's actively shooting in here. He's just like, ah! You know? Yeah, sure. All right. So, it's not a great start there after the little bit, but, you know, hey, way to close it out. And Lebda is a bad man. Holy crap. It's really good. Really good fight from Lebda there. The Faro OTP, by the way. Faro OTP. Development matters, man. These guys, players individually have developed. Checkmate already making the swap over to May. Ramatra already for second point as well. Best case scenario for Alcat, because you just cornball the first point with playing the superior characters, and then you make the swaps before ult economy really becomes a problem. You're really only losing a tiny bit of ult charge at this point in time, and your ultimate layering is basically even because you won the previous fight. So this is perfect.
Yeah. Okay, speak with my timing, okay? Yeah.
All right, let's listen.
Away, let's go to listen it.
Yeah. Okay, peek with my timing, okay?
Did you hear what he said? Peek with my timing, peek with my timing. I think that was Checkmate calling that. So as in, like, again, split push, right? One thing that Alcad does is they marry map control with tempo, with pushing, with aggression, right? So they're very rarely passively holding angles, but even their peaks are timing. Do you guys remember the Kaluge VOD review I did in Circuit Royale like 3 years ago? You guys remember that? Sigma mirror, you know, talking about 3, 2, 1 peak, 3, 2, 1 peak. Freaking double snipers is tempo, is timing, is timing. You got to get your timings right. You got a 3, 2, 1 peak. That's what we're seeing right here. I don't think Checkmate's actually pushing on right. I just think he's peaking on right. And they just need to get that timing right, right? You can already see Ram attention, right? So the timing here is not perfect, but yeah.
Yeah, when you call I should main a little bit. Trace on me.
I should main a little bit. I should main a little bit. So basically what they're doing is they're saying, okay, well, we don't want to isolate immediately. Let's maybe bait some attention here and then flip.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just marking. Come on.
I'm just marking. That's Calyx.
Lucius gonna beat us.
Wait, was it Calyx?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just marking.
Yeah, it's Calyx.
Come on.
So they're not pushing the angle, they're marking the angle. Okay, then they're like, oh, look at me. And then they're going to rotate back around and do it now. And this is better timing now because the payload is actually at a point in time where getting pressure actually matters. Like Ram actually has something to look at right now. If Mei had gone earlier, it would have been too easy to look at just the Mei Lucio. I love this! This is so good! It makes me so happy. It's so good. Do this, guys. This is Overwatch. Yes! I love it.
I can't now, guys. Yeah. We can play. 3, 2, 1, picking. So, picking out.
Yes! Ha! It's wonderful. That you see how the choke just got skipped, right? And now it's not obviously easy to do that. Crazy Raccoon could have also just as easily put more resources into their tracer as well. I honestly, Crazy Raccoon is oddly postured with their backline. Like Chorong's kind of doing nothing. Like back here, like thank you, Robo. Like you see this, like there's a lot of resources in main, and it's really only he saying solo marking here. Like Chorong isn't really +1ing here, which is odd because the only time where you want Chorong here is if you're playing to kite out, and I don't think Crazy Raccoon should kite out here. I want to see more Lucio I want more pocket onto my tracer here. So this is a bit of a mistake here from Chorong. But to focus on the positive here, dude, yes, split, push, deep, shield, pressure from angle. Look at this. This choke just got skipped. Just skipped. Recall down. And then now recall's down. So then now they can cheat because there's no real punish from the flank anymore. So they can just ram it down because there's nobody shooting them in the back, really. There's no threat anymore. I have Suzu advantage. I have Suzu lane assist. Which means that we won the angle duel. Which if you guys but you guys remember Ego as Cat, you take superior positions, you win cooldown trades. Because the Suzu was forced and the HP trade was forced because of better angles and better timing. Better angles, better timing, better cooldown advantage. Alanin says, do not let them get away with their lives for wasting cooldowns. We're going to run it down their throats. Keep going. I have Suzu. Keep peeking. Help Landon. Teleports away from the angle. That's an unforced error from Calyx. Yeah, Calyx knows this is bad.
Close 4, okay?
Yeah, we have.
He's saying, earning that paycheck right now. Soloed the card defender, but landed.
Frick! Dude, I swear, like that's such a satisfying feeling to watch that. Just a completely butt naked neutral. Just played, not to perfection, obviously. Really good job there from Heesang. But wow, that is the perfect marriage of strategy, not even anything complicated. Just the value of taking a split with support. And then just good old-fashioned basic communication. That's it right there. That's it right there. No, just nothing complicated. No Microsoft Paint. No freaking stat banana map overheads. Just 3, 2, 1, push the angle. That's it. That's all it took. And they actually put resources into it as well. And I'm getting, and this is not a good thing, Crazy Raccoon looks like Virtus Pro right now with their setups. Because if you remember what was Virtus Pro's problem, and has been for quite some time whenever I've looked at their things, is that it feels like Kevser's on an island permanently, right? Always on the angle, no help. On the angle, no help. No matter the ult situation, no matter the layers, no matter Lucio, Brigitte, doesn't matter. It just feels like he's on an island. And right now, Heesang is getting no freaking help. No freaking help. Permanently, this is where Crazy Raccoon has just looked really sloppy. They just don't look, they need help there. Like, there's no reason that Heesang had no help there. We were not planning to kite out ultimates. There's in no way, shape, or form could Alcat have had ultimates there to kite out. It was just sloppy. And Alcat just punches them for it. I mean, this shouldn't have even been as close as it was. Calyx just makes an individual error there, right? But, all right, well, we'll see. Is Crazy Raccoon going to shape up here? Who can help Heesang there? Lucio, Kiriko, and probably Lucio would be the easiest option. Hold the choke. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if this is junk buck, if this is all junk buck, or if it's the individual players. I mean, I know that, you know, that there's a lot of really smart players. Calyx, Landon, Checkmate, Lebdazia. These guys are all really smart players as well. But this is just good Overwatch. It's good Overwatch. Great Overwatch. It's good fundamentals. Calyx, the Calyx just got sloppy because the fight was basically already won, and he just kind of goes to push cart, but he just wasn't thinking that Heesang would just go kill him, and Heesang just went and killed him. Like, Lucio there just wall rides up to the high ground with where the cart was, and he's fine, and then they get kill Heesang later. It was just kind of a devolved fight, and he kind of relaxed. Really early Sojourn ultimate here. They know Heesang's in cart. And I think that they just want to do a split push here, I think. Probably the bad color to use here, so we'll go with this. That's not much better. Let's go with this. That's also not much better. You guys get the idea. So will they get anything off of it? The main wall is very strange. I think it's just maybe to shut off the Sojourn. And then they're just going to layer on top of that. Yeah, they're going to use Sojourn ult. And then they're going to use Kitsune Rush. And they should use Annihilation. Okay, so let me explain what this is. Okay, this is called stagger ulting. It was not very well executed by Alcad, but the idea is good if you can pull it off, okay? This is actually something you can do in ranked all the time, where the enemy team is holding space because they have somebody in spawn, but they're kind of far, they're not like fully in their spawn. They're kind of holding space passively, right? But if you get 1 kill here or 2 kills here, then you just cap the point. So you could blow your entire ult economy just to get 1 kill. Or just to stagger them an extra 10 seconds. Because if you do that, then there's no recontest. Absolutely worth doing in a lot of these escort and hybrid situations, especially because it can be very difficult to cap points. So, I like this idea from Alcat a lot. However, the execution, I would have preferred, especially if Checkmate, I don't think Checkmate doesn't have his perks yet. So, it's not terrible. It just feels a bit awkward to do it like this. I would have preferred maybe a wall, speed, and then Lebda pops a little bit later. Or maybe a Kitsune first, and then a Sojourn ult a little bit later. It just feels odd to pop Sojourn ult when you literally can't see anything. So that being said, Alcat definitely needs to double or triple down here because we need a kill and we need a kill now. Like, we need a kill now. Like, right now. Otherwise, we're in serious trouble. Now. Something needs to die now. Cooldowns have been forced. There's a window. They cap. Perfect. Blow it all. Who cares? Literally doesn't matter anymore. Poorly executed, but definitely the optimal fight plan there. Do not let Crazy Raccoon get a recontest here. Because you could sit here for 5 minutes and lose fight after fight after fight after fight after fight, build up 4 or 5 ults and just win. Right? Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, it's definitely the fight plan. It just wasn't super well executed, but it's definitely the correct plan. Like, Crazy Raccoon just had no space. Like, they've got Heesang and spawn. They've blown all of their cooldowns to disengage. Sojourn's out of the fight, getting healed. Heesang is still coming back from spawn. Suzu's been used because they've blown 3 ultimates here, and amp. Choron crosses across, tries to push on the point, but he doesn't have amp. He's completely isolated from his Kiriko and Sojourn. And then now he's just isolated and he's just going to die.
Beautiful boots. And now Garcia.
The only thing I could say from Crazy Raccoon here is if you see this, you probably should just pop Kitsune Rush right now. You just pop Kitsune Rush right now. And this is something that you guys need to understand and ranked as well. If the enemy team overextends and tries to pop ults to stagger you, in certain situations, you should just pop the ult in a 3v4. Because really, if you think about it, how many people from Alcat are actually fighting right now? It's like 2, 3, 4, maybe tops, right? Not everybody's fighting. They've got somebody on cart back there too. So if you just shoot just pops Kitsune Rush right now, they're probably fine. They're probably fine. And then pops, I don't know, Sojourn ult. I guess Choang doesn't have beat yet, which just sucks. But yeah, Shu waits until it's too late. They've already closed the gap here. Yeah, exactly. Apply. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And this is really easy to do in ranked as well. Really easy to do in ranked. I do this all the time in ranked. I do this so like if you could even don't even need to communicate with your teammates with this one. Yeah. You could be a solo Winston and the enemy team is you got a kill or 2 kills and the enemy team is running away and gonna get out and you pop Primal Rage. You jump them and then Primal Rage you get additional 1 or 2 kills afterwards. Especially Escort and Hybrid, I think. Especially Escort Hybrid because of how awkward those points can be to finish on attack. Yeah. Yeah, really could have been bailed out there by Crazy Raccoon, especially because Alcad's execution wasn't that good, but it's definitely the fight plan. And if they had more ults here, Alcad, and this wasn't so far, we could have even seen like Sojourn ult being popped now and then just running it down and just closing spawn doors, but... Is Zhangput the GOAT? I'm always very hesitant to attribute success to coaches. Because I also think that like coaching impact can be hit or miss. It can be a lot or it can be a little bit, and it's just total conjecture. So I don't know. I don't like blaming coaches for losses. I don't like blaming coaches for wins. You know, who knows? I know from what I've heard, Jungpat's a great coach, but you know, I have no idea. They're posturing very aggressively. It almost feels like they want to cause some panic for touching, and maybe screw up Crazy Raccoon's ult economy here. Like, it feels like they're going to just, like, early Blizzard try to cause some chaos, even if they don't win this, because they know that they have to worry about touching. And then that probably means this, and this are going to get popped, in which case maybe you just lose, but you win the ult trade either way if you're Alcat. So it's a good Blizzard. Wow, he actually hits the Blizzard, too. Yeah, see, like, right now, this is totally... Exactly, there's all 3. And so Calyx... Dude, does Calyx even beat this? Yeah, now you beat it. Now you beat it. Yeah. They get the trade, so now it's winnable. Yeah, it's the objective situation forcing bad decisions, basically. And they're just ignoring Ramacha, that's it. Crazy, dude. Crazy. Complete domination.
Oh my god, what a win from Alcatia. And to think how this match began.
It's clean Overwatch, man. Clean Overwatch. Freaking good Overwatch. Not just Crazy Raccoon fumbling the bag, although that was definitely the case at points, but freaking Alcat playing good Overwatch, especially this map.
The win against Crazy Raccoon to put themselves
Too bad that they're relying on cheese characters like Kiriko and Lucio and Sojourn and Tracer in May. No, this is the only match I've watched. I mean, I've skimmed through a couple of the other ones and watched maps here and there. Yeah, they're just the better team, man. This map, just not even close. I mean, I don't care how you want to chalk it up to Crazy Raccoon was definitely having an off day, but yeah, it's just not even close. Like, everything was just better, so. Now, I think the key thing to highlight here is glazing all this stuff.
Team Falcons?
Maybe.
I don't understand what
we could watch maybe a little bit. Maybe I'll watch like a map or something. So this is, if Crazy Raccoon fans out there, the good news is that I don't think anything that Crazy Raccoons was failing on today is unattainable from that team, obviously, especially given that team's context. And to be frank with you guys, I've seen Crazy Raccoon do the things that they should do better in this tournament, in these matchups. So this is like, they could literally just flip a switch and then all of a sudden it gets really sweaty, you know? So this is not like, it's just the luxury of being a Korean mechanical player with a team players that generally have better or more consistent history and macro knowledge here. So like Crazy Raccoon had a really bad series, to be honest with you, with the exception of Busan. But think it's 100% attainable, bro. I honestly feel kind of bad. Like, if we want to talk about like storylines here, which I rarely lean into. I honestly think Heesing had a pretty solid series. I just felt like Heesing got so little help at times. I definitely think the most painful one is going to be that East Bronze. I say the. I mean, actually, I don't know, guys. It might be Shambali. A lot of unforced errors on Shambali. But yeah, Heesing had a fine series. Junmin just felt like a victim of what his team was trying to, how they envisioned beating the Symmetra instead of just playing solid Overwatch. They tried to gimmick it too often. And in this last point, I don't know if it was just a misread on how Brawl mirrors were functioning here or there, but this is like the first time where Alcad like dominated. And then I think crucially, Chorong's Wuyang swaps were just really questionable outside of Busan, which was excellent, but really, really, really questionable. Really questionable Wuyang play on both Shambali and this little bit in King's Row. But yeah, man, Alcad looks solid, dude. I love the molding over the Symmetra stuff, so I've said my piece on that, but you know. Okay, any questions? I mean, we could take a quick look if you guys want. We could take a quick look at the Falcons if you guys want. What are your thoughts on Sim? I mean, she's overtuned. She's just OP. But I also don't think, I think she has like a lower skill floor and skill ceiling than Tracer, for sure. But I also think that she's being vastly underrated, and people are seething and coping because the Korean teams and players have been unable to play around or play with a Symmetra repeatedly. At least this tournament. So I understand the sentiment, but I think it's being vastly overstated. And yeah, I think this is absolutely the tournament that if EMEA is going to do well, once again, we have a tournament where Symmetra is still pretty overtuned. Ram, Diva, these are characters that are within EMEA's wheelhouse. But, I mean, we've had tournaments where the opposite is true as well. Seethe and cope, you know? I think she's got a higher skill floor than most people give her credit for. And yeah. I mean, you could say that, like, I prefer watching Tracer, and I would agree with you. I would agree with you there. But yeah. Yeah, Quartz is insane. Do you think Venture would have been good against the Sim? Yeah, absolutely. But they, like, I mean, they if you look at where... So Venture here, not as good on this map, and probably not necessary. I think no Venture here is fine with Winston and Dive. So I don't think Venture, a lack of Venture was a problem here. And then Venture's banned here, which was perfect from Alcad. And then Venture's definitely not necessary in Busan with how spread out it is. And then you go to King's Row, and then you don't need the Venture because Symmetra's banned. High skill floor meaning easy to be okay or hard to be okay? High skill floor is in, it's more difficult to be okay with Symmetra. I think that Symmetra objectively has a lower skill ceiling than many of the other DPS characters that we see in here, but her floor is still high enough to where it's like pretty challenging to like even a professional player to just pick her up, and especially at this level, right? Like there's going to be a significant gap, as I already said, between UB Checkmate and Symmetra and anybody else. So, do you think her skill ceiling goes up in team play context? Yes, absolutely, by a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe even by a lot. Like we saw a lot of some really good teleport stuff on Suravasa, right? So, all right. If I were to look at, do you guys want me to skim watch this? Should I just hate watch this match? Maybe I should just hate watch this match. Just do like a surface level skip this map. Okay. I'm getting mixed signals. Some people are saying like, oh, skip this map. Some people are like, stay this map. Yeah, I think the main concern with Symmetra is that she's objectively overtuned. Like, she is very strong, like, in ranked and pro play. She's strong and ranked in all ranks right now. For sure, so. Like, this is kind of where the changes to Tracer really kick in, where, like, Symmetra can actually unironically hold space here as good as Tracer on this map. Off angle max, Merit just freaking dies. I don't even know why they're rotating inside here. Sojourn for Sojourn, Lucio gets caught in the open. All right, so we'll skip this one then. Fine. I'll give a fairly legitimate look at map 2 then. Dorado, Symmetra ban, and a Wuyang ban. So it's wait. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. I was gonna say if Symmetra's banned and then they ban Wuyang, that's really stupid. But they ban Wuyang to enable the Symmetra, which forces Falcons to ban Symmetra here, which is kind of funny because I don't know that Symmetra's even that good in this map. So if TM loses this, I don't even think they're that mad. Because they're like, yo, they just blew their sim ban on Dorado. We can lose this map and then go to Flashpoint and push, and we're cooking. So I don't know. I mean, this is why the map 1 victory is so freaking important for TM, because it just snowballs. Because if you lose that map, Falcons don't give a frick about the sim ban. I promise you. I promise you, if Falcons win first map, they don't ban sim here. I think it's a confidence thing. I think you don't want to go down 2-0. But then the map 1 ban is so important because now TM can not only afford to lose the map because they're up 1, but they can also afford to lose the map because it's a sim ban. And then your next 3 game modes, you could go freaking King's Row. Well, no, what would it be? Yeah, King's Row. You could go... I mean, you just go King's Row. You know? So, yeah, just freaking go King's Row, play Sam. GG's, you know? Yeah, you have to win this now for Falcons. So, you need to go Tracer, Winston, Ana Brig, Echo, Sojourn. I mean, you're not going to play Echo Tracer, not Falcons. Well, no, you can, right? Because proper, right? So, and proper just opens up a lot of different compositions, you know. So Mercy ban was probably a protect support ban. It is a little strange, but yeah. And then what do you play for TM? Has to be Diva, right? Diva. Do you just put in Psycho and run Tracer Mirror and pray for the best? Pray to push the cards for us again?
Through a little bit, a team that has been in
has to be like Diva, Tracer, Sojourn, pray that Quartz has the game of his life. No, because that's the one wild card that Falcons have, is that, or TM has, is that sometimes Quartz just decides to turn his 4th eye on and then just that's it, right? But support, it'll probably just be Kiri Lucio or something like that. I don't know that Astro. I just don't see any reason to run anything else. Maybe you could run Brigitte something, but like, I don't know. Okay, so they're going to go... Oh, Merit proper. I'm stupid. Dude, I keep forgetting that Stalker is dead. That they shot and killed Stalker. Stalker's on Falcons, right? I forget that they shot and killed Stalker. Because it would be really nice to be able to play proper Stalker here. Not going to lie. Because Tracer freaking... And then just proper plays whatever. Ashe, Echo, Sojourn... Like literally anything is like so freaking OP in this map because you're kind of stuck playing Ashe, I guess. That's so freaking weird. Anyway, yeah, this comp is okay from Falcons. I mean, it's very, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's just dumping a lot of resources into your DPS basically. Without, yeah.
Been a golden generation for Korea now. Team Falcons, Crazy Raccoon, they are both.
All right, let's take a look here.
already saw earlier today, Crazy Raccoon take another veteran experience, of course. Oh yeah.
Quartz. Quartz Freya is pretty good. And then Quartz. Do we play Freya though? Freya might be hard here. Freya's good in this point, but I don't think. See, the problem is that I don't think there's a single character that's going to feel comfortable here. So Quartz is just going to have to choose the lesser of evils, you know.
Simple as well.
So let's see. I think Freya's good though. Lots of verticality in first point, so yeah, it seems pretty reasonable.
This is a very, very defendable backline for Team Falcons.
Deep angle for Quartz. Team has always struck me as a team very similar to Alcad with the split pushes, with the exception of it feels like they all in Quartz going in these solo lurking mid-fight angles without any help, but they cause so much chaos with their aggression elsewhere that these solo angles work. So they oftentimes break the double support split pushes that I like a lot from ranked, and that we saw some from Alcad, but Quartz often just gets trades, and they often just blow resources on Quartz the second that he gets focused. So
Pop somebody is going to be rather.
But yeah, Twisted Mind's absolutely angle maxes with Quartz like frequently.
And he's just trying to force the position of Haunted, but already he's been forced out.
I really like. Wait, Yubi's on Tracer? I mean, he's had his moments, right? As long as he knows his job, which is just mark angles, control space, don't freaking die. It can work. Tracer's really valuable for cart push as well here.
Yeah, and even though Twisted Minds, they don't have a Symmetra.
He's just like, we've got Kiri angle here, Freya angle here, Lucio Trace, just kind of like all clumped here.
Just consider all the mobility on this composition. As TVNT keeps poking here, but Quartz on this Freya going to be so dynamic in the sky, raining down these bolts.
Yeah, just basically control high ground, don't get poked down.
Has to be careful for this echo, the focusing beam.
Slowly, patiently taking space. Really good space control from TM right now. I'm going to be pretty heavily TM biased here just because, you know, EMEA. And also, I think I always have a tendency to kind of focus on one team whenever I'm reviewing. It's really hard to do both. I'm not very good at that. So if I'm a little bit more focused on what TM's doing, that's kind of my disclaimer here.
Falcons, giving them the space at least for the time being.
Okay. Tracer flips left. I like this a lot. Being marked by Fielder. Yeah, I mean, this split looks okay. In theory, I would like a little bit more aggression from Proper here, if he can get the pocket. Yubi just taking a lot of space. Okay, this is kind of why... Okay, so this is where, like, it's fine for first point, but I will say this is why running double poke has its downsides, right? Nobody's marking this angle whatsoever. So, like, this entire side of our screen, I could literally draw a circle here, and there's not a single Falcons player, with the exception of maybe Proper, but as we already established, it can be kind of scary holding Echo in that lane. There's nobody on the side of the map. Literally every threat from Falcons, or from Falcons, is going in one angle here, with the exception of Proper coming from here. And it's not because they're stupid, like they're bad at map control. It's just, this is why you run this. It's why, as bad as Hitscan is in ranked, besides Ashe, people are still playing Freya and still playing Soj and still playing Cass. It's because holding long angle, holding flank angle is really good. And so I don't think this is a bad composition from Falcons, but they kind of have to be a little bit more ballsy with it. They have to be a little bit more aggressive holding space as best they can. I technically have it, but to be honest, I think I was like, dude, when I applied for like the co-streaming thing, there was like, I did the whole contract thing or whatever. I was like, I CBA. I don't know. I don't care. I like hearing Jaws. I don't mind. I appreciate apply, but it's fine. Chat can tell me if they want. Chat, do you want clean feed, or are you cool with this? Clean feed? I don't know. Okay. Doesn't matter to me. Let's give us the Arabic casters, brah. All right. All right, we'll leave as is, because we'll leave as is. All right. But yeah, basically TLDR, this is really good staging from Twisted Minds. Nice job by Yubi. I think Falcons has to be willing to kind of break the game a little bit more here, which is why I asked Proper to be more aggressive on that lane. Because yeah, it's risky, but you also can't afford to just not take risks here. If you didn't want to take risks, then you shouldn't be playing Echo Ashe. You know, so.
And we're looking at Yubi here.
You know, so.
This flank, trying to link something up.
This is really aggressive.
Already, and that's going to be Twisted Minds.
Yeah, so you notice between updraft cycles, very proactive on main, and then swings wide for the angle. I mean, Yubi's doing his job. I mean, what can I say, right? Like,
Oh,
jeez.
Oh, he hit proper once in the head, but quickly healed up by Chio and Phil. It's a good pick from Merit too.
Unable to get out of the choke there. I wouldn't have minded to see a different look at like how team was splitting this. I wouldn't have minded to see maybe a little bit more aggression from like maybe a simple angle here. TVNT with Lucio on point. Maybe simple goes with Quartz here because I really want Quartz to be here longer. You know, because this is how you're going to break the choke. It's not just from Yubi back here, who I think is doing a fine job, but you also need a kind of more of a split push here. Remember we talked about that like with what Alcad was doing at second point King Zero, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think the DPS are doing the right thing here. I just wouldn't mind to see a little bit more risks from Twisted Minds to break it. Because if he's able to just stay here without having to worry about getting flown on with Pocket and Stickies, then there's a chance. So use a Commander X feat so we can hate on Hunter. Sorry, I don't like abusing children.
Falcons with Twisted Minds and Yubi trying to set up for something.
And one thing we haven't talked about yet is that Yubi remain in the lineup going into Dorado. Obviously, the Symmetra ban forced, so Yubi is forced over to the Tracer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could also say that the Symmetra ban is pretty more valuable whenever Yubi's in the lineup, so it's fine.
And Yubi's Tracer
That's a lie.
But taking on Team Falcons is next level. Generally, a Symmetra player.
Okay, there's the Kitsune. There's the rush it down main. Again, do you see the problem here? Like, I don't like Falcon's setup here. So Yubi's staged on backline, I believe. Yeah, so Yubi's on the stairs on our left. So we've got a bit of a split push with Tracer Kitsune. But I don't like how this is being disengaged. I would much rather proper just brute force the angle. Play for, I mean, it's close, but brute force the angle, play for copy and diva and hold the space. I just don't know if you can disengage this without Lucio speed, you know? That's the problem. So, right, so this is the problem. Chio's dead. Chio should be dead. No way. No way. I spoke too soon, chat. So Chio lives, proper flanks all the way around behind with Diva, and they catch Quartz. All right. I mean, I would have preferred more resources here, but they actually just kite it and then just flip the map and angle this way. So, yeah, the spirit's there. My bad. Well played. Okay, Chio does die. See? I was right all along. This is a mess. But Falcons have to be pretty pleased with that. Winning the Kitsune fight is good, and Quartz is going to go Surge for more movement. Okay. Okay. Very good result for Falcons. Very good result for Falcons. Kitsune for Kitsune. And then now, you know, Quartz is swapped. Bomb has been used. And then now we have the layers to be able to win more comfortably because you've got two of the more consistent DPS ults in the game.
Rely on a push together with this sound barrier. They need to synchronize this aggression and try to take down as many opponents of Team Falcons as possible. This poke damage from Team Falcons is
sorry, can't pause.
With the Ash, with the Echo, Twisted Minds, they're gonna have to go quick soon.
It's ranked code. Wait, Yubi? So Yubi's just on backline right here?
They're gonna have to go quick soon.
Oh,
What? How does he do that? I mean, I guess it's just the great equalizer. But again, this is the problem with not running a skirmish DPS, is that there's just nobody to stop this from happening. Or even the Lucio, right? Like, there's just nobody there for this to stop this. So, I mean, again, I'm going to draw the line, right? Like, this is Falcons right here. This is where they are. There is not a single person on this side of the map, which means easy staging for and it didn't work last time, but it works now. So add the emote? No. I don't know how to add emotes. They catch with Rally. They catch with a copy on Kiriko. They catch Astro, who maybe they rush things a bit here. Maybe they should have been a bit more patient, TM, because living for beat there means that this fight is unlosable now. That's unfortunate. Frick, man. What a good start from Yubi, and they just need to, they pulled a, I'm going to start calling it, they pulled a Junbin. They just rushed it. You get a man advantage, you just run it down before you have anything else. Just chill, my friends. Chill. By the Matrix Spoiler stream? Nice, dude. Nice, dude. Team has to be kicking themselves, bro. Yubi handed them a free fight win there.
That just shouldn't happen, but Twisted Minds unable to capitalize. Now, this funny ass sound barrier. This is the moment.
Oh.
We're looking for.
Bob in the back line. Nice little Suzu there.
Okay, the beat's there just in time.
Followed up with a beat. Fielder
Wait, Fielder?
back line. Nice little Suzu there instantly.
Wait, Fielder just dies.
Followed up with a beat. Fielder now down. Merit in trouble. Barely able to even get a shot off. Needs to hit the full reload.
Okay, so this is fine, but if you're gonna do this, I actually think you have to play for the Ajax. Because otherwise, you are way too close versus a composition with a beat advantage.
Bob in the back line.
Oh, the Bob is really bad. Actually, good shout. Yeah, the Bob is terrible. Whoops.
Instantly.
That sucks. The idea of the Bob is fine, but he misses it. So maybe this is where we hindsight this one a little bit. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, this is a bit hindsighty. I don't think this is always bad, but technically, this is a little close for a team that doesn't have a support ult to beat. You could probably just force point and then bob the angle when they try to rotate on top of your height. Yeah. It's unfortunate, Bob. The idea was to hit Soj. It gets cleansed. It gets dodged. GG's. And then I swear Fielder died with Suzu here, or got Matrix or something. And this is why Ashe is just really dangerous, because Ashe is so freaking fragile to get rushed. And then just the whole 9 yards, man. That sucks. So, TM throws away a fight win, and then Falcons throws away another fight win. Like, I'm sorry, copy? Not copy, but this is not a fight that should be easily won by TM. It's not. Somebody here, Kozlatro? What a shout. I respect that so much. Bob is not hard to get value in general. Not even in pro play. Bob is just, the value of Bob in pro play just isn't as high. I don't think it's hard to get value. You just have to place it. Like you just need to do this. You ready for this one? This is how you get value to Bob. Okay? Yeah, Bob explodes in pro play, but the value's still there. Just throw it right here. Right there. Right there. It's just not as strong in pro play. But it's very consistent. Sorry. It's consistent. It's just not quite as broken as it is in ranked, right? Bob is probably one of the most consistent, like, professional streamer, by the way. One of the most consistent ults in the game, I think. It's just not super. He just explodes, but it doesn't matter. Bless you, thank you. Yeah, so just kind of an unearned, and that one hurts. There's a Tracer swap, which I imagine we'll probably stick with for the rest of this map. Bob is really strong.
Coming up on an overclock here, and on a map like this, you're really at a lot of liberty to
Genji?
take a lot of big flanks here.
I mean, Genji's fine if you're fighting here. Genji's fine. Strange, but it's not bad.
Let's have a listen into the comms.
What's the fight plan here? I think they're just trying to build their mech really fast and then hopefully hold high ground with Sojolt. But if they build Kitsune, I don't think you can hold top with Sojolt.
Yeah, back and forth. We're gonna push you. I'm ready to push. I didn't make it. قول لي انا جاهز. Wait, I can't push it now. Ready?
Yeah, they're just doing the 3-2-1 push top with Soj. And then Yubi's just the split push, right? Like Yubi's kind of doing like I said, the courts thing or the Kevster thing we're here, where it's kind of like solo pushing angles, but as long as he can just live and we can get trades elsewhere, it's fine. Yubi. I shouldn't have said anything. Move cart, then Quartz has the off angle on left side, which makes it really hard for them to mark cart. Rig one. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Do you notice that they isolate D.Va? So it's tricky to quantify this, but it's like that was always going to be a gamble there from Quartz, but this is just the map. Like I think it's like you get free push, you chunk down HP a little bit, you create opportunities for yourself. It is what it is. It's just Dorado attack. You can't ever guarantee any ultimate value, almost without exception. So, that's fine. And then now he's been able to earn this position from this angle. And this is kind of my problem with the Genji. I don't think it's bad. It's good. It's just like, I just don't know if it's best because you have really nothing that can contest this space over here. Genji basically has to stay married to this building. That's the only space that he can function, which severely limits the amount of space and off angles that he can control.
I'm pushing too. I'm pushing
point still, I'm pushing point.
So then Astro here, Tracer here, Diva controlling space here, where Falcons are going to have an advantage. Kiri, Sojourn far wide. I don't know how TVNT gets demeched though. X-ray. I don't want to talk about it, Stefano. Yeah, I don't know what TVNT is doing. I think the plan was to use bomb here just for like inting on top and then remeching. Storm, thank you for the sub. First in the 3 months. Cheers, mate.
This later on, lol, have fun chat.
But it's odd to do this. It's odd to do this when you're not really aggressively pushing. It's just like kind of mistimed. Like if Quartz was still peeking this bomb would be fine. But he might actually get demeched for this or be killed for this. Okay, he's good. He's good. Spooky though, really spooky, really spooky. Aw, man. So Suzu's used, proper Ensign. This is just not very clean from TM. Sojournal was fine, and then everything after that has been kind of sloppy. Need to be a little bit more patience. Now, it is double support over here. So, could be worse for TM. Cody, I think for the sub. Thank you guys for the subscriptions. I appreciate that. Okay, so could have been worse for TM. They did get both support ults out, which was kind of strange. But yeah, felt a little bit forced there. We need to be. You have to be super careful with being too urgent on these escort maps because of how dramatically different the spacing is. You have to be very, very patient. You got to open your angles. You got to fight for height. It's really hard to force yourself on the enemy team here, especially without Symmetra, right? So you just need to be patient.
By Falcons there was a really nice, I must say. Shio then kind of holding forward, not kind of
wait, what?
into bank.
Oh, they're staggering. I understand. That sucks. Probably just swaps and then swaps back. Bummer. As we said, Genji's really good in the spacing here, which, you know, as long as Quartz gets pressured a wee bit, is not terrible. You know, this really feels like the same thing as First Point, right? Where they're kind of all inning to hold the same angle with the setup. They have, yo, thank you for the subscription. Congrats in the 3 months. You know, it's like they're kind of all inning the same lane a lot. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a powerful lane, right? Height is really strong. But it does open yourself up to being opened wide on. And, wait, TBT actually goes to Zarya? Okay, so let me try to explain why I think this might be the case. It is still strange. I'm not going to lie with you. Objectively, a strange choice. But you sometimes see this in these OT situations, where Zarya is a solution character. Let me explain what that means. Where at this professional level, you know, Blade, a Bob, you know, Matrix could maybe help versus the Bob, sure. But like a clutch bubble is just occasionally really powerful. Occasionally really powerful. And then also, in the devolved fights, a charged Zarya can be a coin flip, you know? Like, sometimes she just makes things happen. It's still a strange swap because you could make the same argument about Matrix with, like, Bob, right? But it's definitely just it's a Maverick swap in a situation where TM just really has no business winning this fight. So, I don't hate it. Point pressure, no. Because you play D.Va the exact same way. If anything, Zarya has weaker point presence than D.Va, a lot weaker. But it is it is a wild card. It is a wild card. It's a good try. Bob's used. What? Does this end up mattering, chat? Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Because, I mean, I know that they lose this map, right? But I don't know where. What the frick? Okay. Do they realize the time here? So they're going for the dive on Sojourn because she's isolated, which is fine. And even if I'm being generous here, and I'm saying the Bob is there to prevent the follow-up on Sojourn. Okay, sure. Wait for it to happen. Wait for it to happen. Like, let them go and then bob them. This is terrible. The other Bob was not good. This Bob is awful.
Twisted Minds with a spark of hope here potentially, but Quartz ends up getting snuffed out.
Like, this would be nice. It would be nice to have Bob in here. That says death, just so we're clear. Okay, death. It'd be real nice to have Bob in there. What on earth? Shouldn't matter.
Sentence to a loss on this round here. No more capture points. Easy kills for Proper, and there's just nowhere to go, Johnny. There's no mobility on Team Twisted Minds.
Shouldn't matter. But what a weird Bob. What a weird Bob. Okay. All right. Well, TM gets a push of all time. It's just a tough map. But okay. Let's go. Cool defensive composition. I think Sojourn May is like fine here. Plays to your strengths. You can make it work. Let's see what Falcons says. Good little split here. Lucio, Soj, Kiriko, May, Diva stopping cart. Probably see Genji going up with some either Kiriko or it has to be Kiriko help here. Up top here, pressuring here. Diva probably goes up too. Diva tails. Then you're going to see like Brigitte, Ashe on point, off angling from here. It's pretty challenging for TM to deal with this, at least in this initial choke. What is your opinion on Ashe on attack Dorado? It's fine. There's going to be some pain points, but no character feels... No, as we already established for Twisted Minds attack, there's no hit scan feels amazing on this attack here. You just have to play clean Overwatch. Like right now, it's criminal to me that we're putting as many resources as we are into the Diva and cart instead of just rotating and taking that free angle on top right. I have no idea why they're focusing TVNT right now. It's not that... It's like... it's. I'm not like quite sure like why we wouldn't just take the space away. I mean, it's exactly what TM did, right? So the problem with that is if you don't actually take the space there, which they don't, then you still have not established this lane for your Ashe. You understand? The threats to your Ashe are not going to come from main because you already have some presence on cart. The threats to your Ashe are going to come through this corridor here. So Falcons has just vomited everything that they have on cart. I have no idea why. You should have Genji here. At this point, you should have Lucio there too. Lucio, Genji marking this lane here. Ashe and Narnia, proper on cart. Kiriko on cart. Proper Kiriko, whatever. I just don't understand why we're letting TV and T be here. Have no idea. Because you're one speed boost away from your Ashe being yeeted, I don't know what that, yeeted into Narnia. I don't, this looks like, you could blindfold me and I would swear that this was like, I'm not going to say it. Let's just put it this way. I would never guess that this is Korean Overwatch right now. Never. Like, shockingly, this is exactly what happens from this lane that's uncontested. Why? Why? So Yubi dies. I don't even know what Yubi dies to because he's got his ice block. Oh, yeah, come on, Yubi. That's sloppy. But really bizarre choice from how that's being played. I don't care what the kill feed reads. That is just not good Overwatch. I'm sorry. That is not good Overwatch. I don't even agree with Twisted Mind's decision and how they respond to it. So the irony here is that you see like Lucio Diva go here. I don't know why Aster is leaving. Lucio can just amp this and then just go right back. Let your Diva just shove the Ashe into the locker. You don't even need to kill the freaking Ashe here. You know? So it's bad ice block, bad positioning, but it's just bad. It's just sloppy from both ends. And I can forgive TM because TM, this is just not a bad, it's a bad comp, bad game mode for TM. This should be up the Falcons' wheelhouse, man. This should be up the Falcons' wheelhouse. This is not, that is not felt at all. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys. It's not Merit's fault. Team just doesn't control. What the frick am I watching? What am I watching on my screen? What am I watching? What are you doing? What are you doing? Wait, what am I watching? Sewing Scoop. Bro, what region am I watching? What is going on? What did they see? May, Soj, what did they see? What about this says go? Am I losing my mind? What happened to Falcons? I don't see anything that says go. They don't have any staging or offingers or ults or anything. What am I watching? They still have somebody on cart. Am I going insane? Like, it's funny because it almost works again because you can tell TM is like, what are these guys doing? Like, and the problem with that is like you could do that occasionally and get away with it because it's just so offbeat. But you don't do that in Overwatch. That works once. What on earth am I watching? This is horrible. What is proper on, Ben? What are they doing, man? Where's the leadership here? Who's calling this crap? Okay, so Soj back. Layers are coming online. Let's see what happens. Beat Blade. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, that's okay. It's a little bit greedy, but I honestly don't mind it in this situation because if you could just move cart a lot, yeah, it's 2 for 1. But like it's oh, dude, Merit, how's Merit being traded here? It doesn't matter that much. Let me explain why it's not so bad. Okay, 2 for 0 is generally not a good ult trade, but Blade is notoriously hard to set up. Yada 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 yada. Big thing here is you need to get your Ashe out of the choke, and we want cart to be where it actually becomes a factor for the defenders to worry about, which means you pull some of their presence off of high ground, and you can actually, it's the same thing why I didn't mind Quartz's Sojourn ult, right? You get yourself out of the hole, and then you get to a point where you're actually dangerously interacting with the, so it's like, it's a lot, but I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was bad. I understand it, and I think you get a defender's advantage. Ashe set up here. You know, you still have some ults left in the bank here. It's hard to connect with beat advantage here. You know, these ults are like whatever. So it's okay. As long as Falcons is ready for a support ult response, this should be okay. So you can kind of see it here. Just kind of staging cautiously. Yeah, see, like all of a sudden 53 meters. And what you can do is you can... Okay, this looks like a Bob on high ground. No? This looks like a Bob on high ground. Oh, they don't have a Bob. What are they doing? Gotta be really careful here. You gotta be really careful. Beat advantage, taking an aggressive fight here without a beat is really scary. I don't understand. I legitimately don't understand. Falcons should be playing this way more patiently. You've got the cart here. They have the support ult advantage. And we're just going in. Like, look at the posturing from Hunbin here. He doesn't even have the minor perk for remacking, right? And then Shio gets isolated here. It's just so strange. Like, why the urgency here? Be patient. We talked about this from a little bit of TM as well, right? Being a little bit more patient. But this is just bizarre. Like, I guess I can cut Hanman some slack, because in theory, yeah, bomb, remake, whatever, yeah. But, like, really? I do not understand this. I don't understand the urgency, and this is so bad, too, because now you've completely reset your map control, right? This is a situation where you, a pressure point, be patient, build your Bob, Kitsune rush top, Bob top, put some pressure on Astro, see if you can get a trade, see if you can make things messy. Maybe you can out-sustain them on top. Be patient with your supports. Angle with your Genji on point, right? Force Yubi to drop, which they did, and then you can kind of fight with your Genji up top. But it's like they forced Yubi to drop and then just decided that's all that they needed to win the fight on top, which is just not the case. It's just not the case. It's just not the case. They still have beat advantage here. 100% it's the Mei dropping. That's the Q. But I just don't think that that Q is good enough. It feels a little bit like the Symmetra situation where it's like, oh, they forced the Mei to drop. Turn your brains off. No. No. Massive, massive. And they also use Diva Bomb there as well. So not only are TM in a bit of an old advantage, they're a significant ultimate advantage right now. So just strange. Very strange. Could we please touch point, please? Could we please touch point? Could we please stop the robot or the cart from rolling backwards here? What the frick are we doing? What the frick are we doing? We should have Ashe here with probably Kiriko. Lucio hovering around, I don't know, here as well. Maybe Kiriko maybe on a deeper angle. Diva needs to touch point. Genji needs to touch point. Just edge it forward. Take some time. Build your old economy. See if you can bait a bad ult out. Let the enemy team respond. Keep forcing the resources to drop the point. What are we posturing for? You think you're going to push high ground? You really think that you're going to push high ground here? Are they trying to angle around the other side? And if that's the case, you cannot do that without touching payload. Because you need to touch payload, inch it forward, and then go for the flank. That way, if you win the fight, you actually win the game instead of, oh, well, you know, because you're going to allow them to recontest. What is going on? Yeah, so they're sitting there Ashe on an angle. Okay. But they needed to touch. Okay, now they touch cart. Sojourn ult. Really good disengage from Hanban. It's fine. Proper's overextended a little bit, so he's probably going to die. But that's okay. I mean, I just... Okay, so let's give him the element of the... Let's give him the element of the doubt, okay? Or the benefit of the doubt. Element of... I don't know. Benefit of the doubt. This Bob was not intended to do what he did. This Bob was intended to stop right here. In which case, I think the Bob is fine. Probably forces beat, which is what you want. It just goes flying. I disagree. I don't think the Bob is bad. I think you have map control advantage. This Bob is intended in this situation to capitalize off of the mispositioning of Twisted Mind. Hanban is back, or will be momentarily. And crucially, it's going to allow Merit to kind of do whatever he wants and then probably force beat out here. Like, you're just... I honestly don't think this Bob is that bad. This is probably... Okay, you guys ready for a hot take? You ready for this one? This is the best Bob that Merit has had. It's the best Bob he's had, intentionally. Obviously, it's not a good Bob in the context, but that's hindsight. If that Bob drops, that 100% gate keeps Quartz out of doing anything and almost certainly forces beat. Like Hanman's right there. Hanman's right there. It's just unfortunate placement. It was good if it went where it went. They had map control. They had 4v5 with an active Bob. You could definitely force a support out and make things messy here. It's just, I'm more critical of the initial setup there from Falcons, where I think they need to be more patient before forcing this. That way that Proper doesn't quite get isolated so quickly, right? Like, Proper touched card, but the reason why I didn't want them to do that before Proper touched card is the exact reason why we saw it right there. Like, Proper touched card and then died for it, right? Proper could have touched card and then gotten out if he'd had support on main instead of all the way on the other side of the map. I just don't think they're playing the map very well. They need to be more patient. And then once we get a little bit of cart touch, then Proper can kind of lean back towards staircase, and then we can do the mat flip, right? But yeah, the problem is that the bob doesn't go where you want it to. Proper gets isolated too soon, too quickly, and so we don't even force the beat. Yeah, he absolutely deserves criticism for the first two bobs, so absolutely. So it's like, yeah, I don't think it's fair to criticize that bob, but also the first two were not good. So you absolutely deserves criticism for the first two. Did Funny Astro boot Bob? Great question. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so, but maybe. He might have been in position for it. He looks close. I don't know. I don't think it would have mattered there. It looked like he was flying. So maybe I'm wrong. I'm not honestly sure. Great question, though. Great question. That would have been very good if it had been. Sojourn swap's fine. Again, okay, I was going to complain about the lack of touch, but they've got the touch now. This is much better. This is much better. We got a Diva touch. We have contest on top. Genji can do this pretty safely without getting punished. Just tell me they don't blade this. Not right away, anyway. Sojourn getting the wide swing. Hanba needs to not get isolated. There's the blade. There's the beat. He lives. They flip the point. Chio dies in the rotation. Wait, so Chio gets booped. Wait, does Chio just mess up his wall ride? Because he just gets railed right there. Okay, honestly, okay, so this was actually the best fight that we've seen from Falcons in terms of their setup. They get the touch with Diva. They control the top. They bait the off angle with Soj. Disengage, then late rotate again. Genji gets the flank set up because they've earned this space, and then they go this way. They beat engage, but he knows, or blade engage, but they know that they have beat. So Proper's in a fine spot to live here. They go for the Ajax. They don't get the Ajax, and Chio is almost about to live, but he just gets literally one shot with 97 on beat. That could have been Falcons' fight there, right there, or at least a much messier fight. That was actually pretty well played from both teams. Vengeance, Tom.
Twitch is weird. It let me celebrate my 3-month streak 2 weeks ago.
That is weird, Tom.
My 1-year streak, but
thank you for the subscription.
Not Twitch.
Yeah, you could definitely argue that they should have delayed the engage for sure. Thank you, Tom. Hope you're doing well, mate. All right, this is it. Definitely Falcons' favorite here. Beat, bomb, or Blizzard bomb. Quartz has to be the equalizer here. Has to be. Proper staging. Sojourn flip. Lucio Peel is there. TVNT is forced out. Rotating them. Again, okay, again, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. You must touch point. You must touch point. I get the idea of the flip, but you cannot let the cart roll back to where you win this fight and you don't win the game. You cannot do this. No, that's fine, Tom. I really think it's worth delaying this flank rotation just to touch point with your Diva and go for this, you know? I just really don't like this because cart is rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. Lots of good rotations here. TVNT's a bit isolated. They're going to try to DMAC. He's going to get out enough to where he can get the bomb for remake. Really good rotations from Falcons. What did I just watch? Oh. Is that a set play? Dude, that is... Alright, that is ballsy right there. That is... Okay, can I say something here? Can I say something? No, I'm not going to say something because I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Here, my first thought was like, why are we big braining this when we can literally just kill? It is a bit of style points. I think the reason that they do it this way is because they're playing with Suzu timing. Was it worth it? Yeah, I think so. I think if you look carefully here, look at the Suzu timing. Right here. Bam. So you can't kill the baby in theory here. So the Suzu's expired. Bam. So, yeah, sure. Okay. Now, wall-wise, yeah, that wall could have shut that cute play down entirely. But, yeah. I don't know. Don't try this at home. Let's put it that way. Super risky, because if this doesn't work, you've tossed your entire remake and it's gone. You see what I'm saying? Is it worth it? I honestly don't know. Hey. Not so sure. Kitsune in point. He might not want to. Yeah, like I can't look at this result and the execution from Falcons and say that was a mistake. I just can't. I can't say it. I'm gonna say something though. I'm gonna say something. You ready for this one? Watch this. First off, why are we Kitsune rushing on point? First off. Second thing, exactly. This is why you touch cart. Because this cart should not be here. It should be here. Look at our cart. Let me explain why this is important. Look at our cart progress. Look at how long it takes for us to make cart progress. Watch. How long is this? Okay, so we just touch cart. Now, 15 seconds. No cart progress. 14, 13, 12, 11. 8, 7, 6. Still no progress. 10 seconds. 11 seconds. 11 seconds before they started making cart progress. 11 seconds. Aren't we using Kitsune to put cart pressure? I'm talking about before the fight started. This is why you don't flip the map without touching your diva here, so that you can actually do all this nonsense before it starts rolling back, because there's a timer before it starts rolling back. And then crucially, once you kill the diva, it is insanely bad a fielder to blow his ultimate here. Your diva, their diva's dead. Corpse. We do not need any sort of urgency whatsoever. We relax, we smoke a fat blunt, and we kill what's on cart. Then, the second that they decide to contest us, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds for now, then you blow your Kitsune rush from high ground. What the frick are we doing in here? Why are we here? This is the exact same of crap that we saw earlier in second point. Why are we here? Yubi just uses Blizzard to keep himself alive, which is actually a great play. It kills Hanbin. Almost gets Suzu'd, but then that forces an early defensive beat, and then crucially that allows Simple. Okay, to be fair, they use the Kitsune rush in there, but their Kitsune rush is actually still active here. It's still active all the way to point. No, Quartz, fly, my sweet friend. GG's. G freaking G's, and shout out to Quartz, always finding that late solo flank. Terrible. I actually don't disagree with the beat here, to be honest with you guys. I mean, it's hindsight, because Hanbin is like legit 1 HP. I actually think the beat's fine. I think this beat is absolutely fine. I think this Kitsune might have demeched at Diva otherwise. So I think it's kind of hindsighty. It starts with they didn't touch point, and then I don't know why Fielder blew the Kitsune Rush there. I have no understanding of why he would possibly do that. No idea. Terrible support ult usage from Fielder there. It just, again, it comes down with Falcons kind of having the right idea of how to retake the map, but completely forgetting to touch the point, and everything is so rushed. Everything is so freaking rushed. Why are we rushing our Kitsune Rush here? Why is there any sort of urgency here? You have support ult advantage and map control advantage. Why are we running in there? And they're doing it by themselves. Like, it's just so uncharacteristic. Falcons has looked so crappy, unbelievably garbage here with their ult layering. Just unbelievably garbage. Starting all, and there's spacing as well. Spacing was better towards it, but like just terrible. Terrible. And Falcons are gone, man. Falcons went home. Oh, what are they doing then? What are you doing? Hi, Graham. That's crazy, man. I mean, give TM credit, but for just not making those earth-shattering mistakes. I don't know. This is definitely a choice of all time. Kings Row again. Man, they must really be confident. I don't know. Diva ban, because it brings them to the Ram mirror here.
About making plays, about being proactive, about the way you flank around.
All right, Venture ban. Sim safe. I honestly think with Venture ban, I think you're screwed. Have to be screwed, no? Right?
This that Team Falcons are, you start hesitating, you start overthinking things, and you don't quite have that same level of aggression. So losing that to Dorado,
I would go as far to say that if I'm Falcons, I'm wondering if I'm banning a DPS just to protect Venture. I don't even know if that's something that they could do. They could do that, right? Like they could ban Sojourn, you know, or something, you know, or like I don't know, like maybe they think Sojourn's really good versus the Sim, so maybe not that, but like just ban freaking Bastion or something stupid. You know, just ban anything just to protect Venture. It's just, I mean, it's hindsight, you know, but
see if that impacts Team Falcons' ability to navigate what Twisted Minds are throwing their way.
I mean, surely this is what TM wants, right? Like, to me, the way that I look at bans is if you don't really have a really strong preference of what you want to play, you need to ban in a way that the enemy team is going to be annoyed. Oh, yeah, I need to update that. Your entire mindset should be, yeah, the enemy team is going to be really annoyed when I do this. You know? Quick Falcons versus TM. Like, I just, it shocks me that, like, you're going to be like, yeah, they're going to be really annoyed at our diva. Really? Really? I don't think they're going to care. I really don't think they're going to care. What's your bet? Like, is that much? Like, Pram versus diva is fine. We've already seen it. It's fine. You don't need to ban diva. Like, it's good in first point for sure. I don't know. Just strange. Strange. They would get Ram banned then, right? Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I didn't consider that. Yeah, and if you've got someone in, you're screwed. Yeah, then I guess if you're going to put someone in, you do have to ban diva. You're right. In which case, you know, you could have run Hanbin here and been fine. But I guess that I guess Hanbin just isn't the play here. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at execution then. Yeah, they already used Sim ban. That's why that last map was so crippling. But you really have to have confidence that you have the better players because nothing about this matchup favors you. Really. Like, it's basically like a neutral advantage, right? Everyone's on a comfort hero, so you better have the better players, which I guess in theory they agree, but there's no strategical advantage here for Falcons.
This is all about thwarts, utilizing these off angles.
Oh my gosh. I mean, Proper gets poked out at top right. He's unable to use that height. Sim uses a short left angle. This is why running This combo oftentimes will feel better than this. It's same thing we saw in first point Dorado. You have a split push with your DPS controlling space, whereas really Proper and Merit shoved into a locker. Proper's trying to skirmish on the right side, but he doesn't have the same level of sustain that Symmetra does. Goodbye.
Goes for a big play and Merit down early.
Yeah, he's swift with it. Gonna just burn down someone as well. This Nemesis form isn't gonna last all too long. That's another kill for Quartz as well. Add that to the tally, Johnny, for this series.
It's a good split push there. Really, really good split push there from TM.
Give him another. Come on. Build up.
Get frick, buddy.
So let's not read too much into things here. Fielder's going to
I think Hazard got nerfed a little bit, and Ram also got buffed a little bit.
But at some point on the second point, Team Falcons, they need to make a
Okay.
strong hold. But if you point Team Falcons, they need to make a strong hold. But if you
Kiriko plus Sim, I think. Crippling mistake. Choke skipped. Will they be able to punish this? What is... Wait, they're going to match that.
drop from Fielder here.
Nice little Suzu there as well, but later continue.
Okay. You know what the difference is between TM and the Junbin on... They don't overextend off their pick advantage. They don't just run it down. They just play it slow. They play it slow.
Drop from Fielder here.
So, both... What does TVNT do? Kitsune Rush? Oh!
Drop from Fielder here.
Nice little Suzu.
Right? You know? I'm not making a mistake. I'm just going to live. We're at 5v4. I make no mistakes, we win.
There as well, but later continue.
And then, Sayonara.
Falcons know it as well. They're gonna have to
Wait, Proper uses Kitsune... Oh, no.
escaping this teleport.
Just sim wall or beat.
Quartz fighting away. Has got the overclock in hand. The problem
That just...
Clone is just gonna get
Disaster layer for TM, who literally just survives. That's the only thing that they do, and 2 ults are down. Disaster.
sliding up.
Well played by TM. Split push there from Falcons. 3-2-1 top. We're going to probably see a Merit ult here, but, you know.
He's gonna go. Oh, Merit down.
Now, crucially here, this doesn't get scouted,
He's gonna go.
and he gets supported as well. Lucio, a little bit of support there. Sayonara.
Again.
Layer diff. I'm surprised he dropped, but, yeah.
And twisted mind. They are running team.
Right time. Investing both the overclock and Symmetra's shield wall.
Oh, man. All right.
They can cook up with this down barrier. If they can,
It was a lot of ults there from TM, I will say.
Merit can't play spoiler on this soldier.
But I don't hate it.
Soundbar.
Did they disengage this? Yeah, they disengaged this.
Nerves this
Goodbye.
one here. Is this overclock?
Full kited.
In through your front.
Ouch.
Twisted mind, Johnny. He managed to escape.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. EMEA. EMEA. EMEA in a nutshell.
Spoiler on this soldier.
Take an angle with your sim. Teleport out.
Astro staying with Chio.
If the DPS pops an ult. That's someone that was not near as rhyming as I was aiming at. Never mind. That was going to sound way better in my head. Never mind. Take an angle, you Symmetra. Just teleport out. You don't even have to play passive. You take an angle, just teleport out.
Good, you drained another big resource.
Same thing as playing Tracer, right? It's the same exact playstyle.
Ultimate economy.
Flip the map,
They go for a wide swing.
rotate,
Back here.
beat advantage, beat advantage,
Astros, there it is. Merit in a little bit of trouble. You can see them huddling on the payload right
ram
now.
block, the 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 block. But the reason why this favors TM is because when you flip the map, you create chaos. So there's somebody's gonna get caught with the pants down. Who's it gonna be? Who's gonna have who's gonna get shanked?
Basically looking at the sun at this point.
It's Proper.
On the high ground though, TBNT mentioned.
You can tell, right? Like, he's not comfortable here, right? He sees Astro. Suzu comes in time. Sim is freaking dangerous. Even some... See, the problem here is also that as long as Sim has an angle here as well, someone will lose the HP trade here, right? And as long as they mark Proper and they don't get they don't turn their brains off, it's over. Quartz takes top mid-fight. Again, those mid-fight angles from Quartz, always looking good.
That's what the Symmetra does for you.
It's great. Just better.
Raining damage onto someone. And now...
Sim's just better. Right now. Sim's just better.
Falcons out of spawn. This is Twisted Minds in complete...
I mean, look at that. They're killing a blocking round.
He's so nasty. Someone lucky to escape.
Like, he lives, but that you could feel it. That is actually going to kill Ram.
You have to fight on this as the pain payload goes around the final corner.
I mean, this is so scary for your Falcons. You don't want to investigate.
Cards moving for free. Panic in the streets. Teleport out. Panic in the streets. Panic in the streets. Panic in the streets forces Kitsune rush. Panic in the streets forces an early Kitsune rush. Sim wall catch. Kitsune layering. Now all you have to do if you're Yubi is take your time, ramp up your beam, and then murder Proper's copy. Oh my gosh, he doesn't even get it off. I actually think it gets shielded off. That's a thing, right? I think that is the thing. I think he's trying to copy Ram, gets booped back by Astro, and then gets killed.
No this isn't a backbreaker. This is a mental breaker. Team Falcons.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened there. Insane.
It's like their first day playing Overwatch right now is
oh my gosh. What an actual Goomba stomp. Like Falcons are making some pretty serious errors as well, but TM is just, they're just beating them. The macros there, the micros there, the mechanics are there. And this, you just got to question, is this really where we want to fight TM? Is this really it's just a bit of, you know what it is? Okay. It's a bit of freaking hubris. It's a bit of freaking hubris. Really? This is where you want to take Twisted Minds? Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Like, are you really sure?
Team with giants of Overwatch.
And here we go. This is Falcons throwing everything at them. Proper rolls out on the Symmetra.
They're just getting dumpstered, man. Yeah, they're gonna try to mirror the Symmetra. Okay. All right. Let's see how that goes. Let's see Paul Allen's Symmetra.
And here we go. This is Falcons throwing
Oh man. Okay, so they're gonna angle here.
out on the Symmetra. Our hero team Falcons have
They're gonna flip the map. Flip the map. Bit of an HP trade there. Astro drops. He forgets to take teleport. Or drops and hides. And in this chaos here, it just feels a lot of just mechanics, you know? Gee willikers.
Oh, proper. He's trying to run. There's no one. There's nowhere to hide.
Team, no, there's you just hubris. The absolute hubris. The absolute hubris.
about the mental game.
The absolute hubris, man.
Complete control.
That's right. Touch the spawn doors. You earned it. Touch them. Let them know.
I will say for Falcons here, you might feel at this point that nothing else is working for us. Maybe the Symmetra is the answer. It's something we need to practice. It's something we need to see if it.
There's the flip. Shields there. They need to take that opportunity to rotate the DPS across the top right here and then deepen from here. And then we'll see where we go from there. So what do they do?
Overclock available. 4 quarts already.
What
Look at this. Just going around the corner.
what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we still here? Why are we still here? You took top and then just stood there with your hands on your hips. What are we doing? Then TM, they put pressure here, flip the map through here, and then teleport and take your backline behind you. Are you kidding me?
4 quarts already. Look at this. Just going around the corner.
Goodbye. High ground's mine.
Hunting ducks now. Straight to the skies. Everybody cowering.
And I'm being really hypercritical here, obviously, because, you know, funny. But the main thing, the reason why I'm being so critical is not because the things I'm saying are necessarily easy to do.
First point here.
It's just that it's not easy. So why are we here?
Scurrying to spawn. But
Why are we here?
even make
What are we doing?
Back and forth
TM is dumping on you right now with these rotations.
with their food.
2 minutes.
Yes, exactly, Johnny. Playing with their food.
Double support all and a
They're gonna push. They're gonna cornball you right now. They might even beat this.
There's the rush early from Fielder.
Yeah, they're gonna beat this. They should have beat that. Yeah, they get a little cheeky, does TM. Maybe they pay for that. Oh, they beat this.
You know what this is?
Herlo, thank you for the raid.
Trash can.
I appreciate it. Very kind of you, lovelies. Yeah, to be honest with you guys, this is just TM ego. Now, this is the hubris. They're like, we're just going to dumpster these guys. So they just run to the choke, but they don't really have that good of a split. This is something that where you would want to do like a Soj slide up to top here, or maybe even have your Soj hiding here, and then do this. That might have worked, but yeah, a bit cheeky. But despite that, like, you know, TM, Falcons, it's just chaos.
Has been taken down. Annihilations for both teams, but someone is 1 HP as
Merit's screwed.
walks past Team Falcons.
Oh, no, he gets pocket. No, he's not. Oh, yeah, they layer beat on top. Yeah, I think that's wise. I would rather just win the fight here, blow your beat advantage, reset the map control, and force them to use beat in an awkward situation.
Right now, as Twisted Minds don't even give it a single
Sleep well, mate. I appreciate you. I only have nice things to say at you. Always, my friend. Always. I wake up every morning and I say, Herlif was a great man. And my wife gives me a weird look. But she does that anyway. Okay. Simwall. Do they just disengage this? They have gotten 0 ticks. There's a chance TM just full kites this. There's a chance. Simwall? No, they're just going to push. They're just going to flip push with teleport. And once again, you could always tell Falcons just look so uncomfortable with this. And this is what I was talking about. So they're not kiting back towards their point. They're kiting back towards the high ground. And they'll give ticks here. Because yes, beat advantage. But hey, high ground advantage. Sojourn advantage. Quartz with rail advantage. What do you beat engage here? You're the Ram. I mean, I don't know why Astro dies there. But it's spooky. All right.
He's going to secure them the point.
I don't care as much about the Korean comms. Because obviously we can't understand them. I personally can't because I'm stupid. Split push top. Split push right. Quartz just kills proper. Whee! Quartz dead. This is where I think TM is sometimes a little behind Alcad at times. Where maybe it's just my preference. I don't understand why Quartz doesn't have any support help here. Especially because he's popping ult. Like, he doesn't have Kiri, he doesn't have Lucio, and I don't understand why. They don't need either Kiriko or Lucio to disengage here. He's just popping Sojolt. So I praise Quartz for his solo flanks mid-fight, but these early flight angles, this is stuff that Alcad, I think, does better more consistently, where they understand that this guy, whether it's Checkmate or you know, whoever, Lebda, is going to get pressure, and there's just nobody there. I think if a Simple or Astro's here, then we're fine. It's a good shot from Merit as well. Give credit where credit is due, but it feels bad to have that free of a pick, that free of an angle, and then get traded. You know, that's where I think Alcad looks a little bit more consistent in their macro. But I think TM looks a lot better with a lot of their. I mean, I think the Symmetra play is just a bit better, which, I mean, makes sense, right? There's the disengage, so they're going to re-engage with Kitsune, and then are we going to see another Quartz angle here? Shh. Yeah, they're asking for Kitsune, and they just run it down. Like, it's just so sloppy. It's so sloppy. There's no split push here. And so TM is in a perfect position to just catch this with the Mirror Kitsune, because there's just a bunch of garbage on main. And so as long as Symmetra can space, which she kind of does, they get the trade. Really, nothing's improved in Falcon's situation whatsoever, right? So they're going to have to blow ults here. They're trying to say live, I think. But it's a bit of a mess, right? It's a bit of a mess.
And this is still dire straits for Falcons. They got a minute.
Yeah, exactly. What it's odd. Yeah, I don't know. It's odd. Maybe they tried to beat and they didn't want to put Merit too far in, but it's strange.
Maybe in a bit of danger.
Twisted Minds, they don't make these fights easy for Team Falcons. Merit.
What am I looking at?
Twisted Minds, they don't make these fights easy.
Dude, Merit. Oh, this is just a disaster. Why are we popping Soj ult on the floor at a Ram, not on an angle, in a team that doesn't have a single support ult right now? Are you kidding me? Alcad would never. Quartz would never. Just walks out. Criminal.
Pops the overclock here. Looking for a pick, but there's no one to find.
TNT is tanking this, bro. Look at this.
And then let's keep layering the beat on top.
Just holding
Sim wall's perfect. Sim wall. Can they even kite this out as well? Dude, oh my gosh. No, dude, this is so, this is the difference between the teams right here. If I could classify, if I could just show you one team fight, the difference between TM and Falcons, it's this fight right here. Merit on main, TVNT does this and backs up, and TM through Suzu, block, slop, amp speed, Suzu, slide, fill in the blank, sim wall, just disengages 3 ults casually.
Merit pops the overclock here, looking for a pick.
I guess it's, to be fair, it's 2. No, it's B. It's B. Yeah, it's B. 3 for 2. 3 for 2. And you will always trade this for this and beat. Always. Good trade.
It's just so hard to find an actual target he can shoot at. Eventually they're in a good spot, but twisted minds. They're just so good at disengaging with the TPs.
It's just there's not a single split, man. And so they take the teleport, trying to layer this in, but this is where trades happen, right? Because even if you trade this here, Quartz is going to... Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Because I was going to say, let me just pause before we have a mechanical pop-off here. If 1 or 2 people from Falcons dies, this means that TM gets a legitimately good recontest here, and then they're right back to a neutral. It's criminal. You have the advantage here, and at best, you're getting a neutral out of it, and they get a comfortable recontest here. By the way, because nobody's pushing card. Just that, like it's not just the last shot because that's fancy. It's this. His crosshair is on Proper's head because he's expecting him to corner peek, and then Lucio just goes flying by, and he just hits it. It's that shot on Lucio. Is that Lucio? Am I crazy? That's Lucio, right? No, Sojourn. Sorry, Sojourn. That is one of the best shots that I've seen in a long time. It's so quietly impressive, too. Like, I don't even know that he knows that Sojourn's there. It's not that big of a flick. It's not the accuracy, necessarily. It's just... No. You know what? No, I'm wrong. He sees him sliding. He sees him sliding, frick. But still, that's ridiculous. That's still... It is still ridiculous. Insane. Insane micro. And the macro is just there to set that up. Yeah, he just waits. Yeah, and that shot, the proper there towards, or the sim towards the end was just the perfect, the cherry on top. Just patience, waits for it.
What an all-star performance from Quartz. The way they turned these fights around with the use of...
He's saying care TP here. He's saying that they're going to teleport their Sojourn here, which is absolutely what they should do. I don't know if Falcons knows to do that, but yeah, they're scared of that teleport.
It's world class.
Of course not. Of course not. You know, like, you could literally, like, Twisted Minds goes, they're going to teleport. Okay, here's what they're going to do. They're going to TP here, leave Soj Kiri here, drop Ram on point, or maybe even leave Ram Lucio splitting here, and then Soj Kiri, like, but no, they don't know how to do that. They don't know how to do that. They're just going to go to point. Now, maybe they'll teleport from main. Get their Sojourn in a good position, you know?
Pretty empty old bank on both sides. Both rushes coming up first. Slow push in here for Falcons, but
team is very much playing for a Kitsune rush and then split push. What they'll do is they'll Kitsune rush, send Quartz to top, right?
Yeah, both teams desperate to get these Kitsune rushes online. You don't want to go.
So this is going to be the moment of truth. What's the positioning looking like
They're going to be stuck on
post Kitsune rush? Early teleport to flip, but Kitsune for Kitsune.
they've stopped this flank from Falcons. Both rushes laid on top of each other now.
And then there's the mid fight. This is how TM plays it, right? Especially with the Symmetra, they will be very passive. They'll give up map control and then they'll retake it with the sim split burst push. And the reason why this works is because it makes the angle choice that they want very unpredictable. This doesn't work without Symmetra because it's impossible for you to utilize, like you would take a slide to get here, which is just not very consistent. But with Symmetra, you can give up map control early and make very unpredictable mid-fight. But, you know, you could also just kill something and then go here. But to be honest with you, did they even have an angle here? Were they even going to use... Like the problem here, and this is the gap between the teams, is do they even pop their teleport? Like, where is the teleport? It's just on the back line. It's just on the back line. It's just like, oh, boo, boo, boo. But the whole point of this comp is these mid-fight Symmetra flips with teleport, or mid-fight set your Sojourn on high ground teleport. So the teleport needed to be here from Falcons. You know? So then you can get Merit up here and whatever. But again, it's just the gap between the teams, right? It's Quartz constantly getting support from his team, including his Symmetra, and Merit just existing on cart. They got destroyed. Dumpstered. Cheers, Lexa. Sleep well, my friend.
A 3-0 dominant victory.
Crazy.
EMEA continue to just decimate.
Yeah. Wow. Obviously, we didn't see Busan. We kind of skipped right to map 2 and 3. Dorado is just yeah. Team got a solid chance of winning finals? Sure. I think the Symmetra play looks a little bit tighter than Alcad. But Alcad just generally looks a little bit better with the map control and so on. But, I mean, just from my very, very limited experience, I might be totally dead wrong with that. But, yeah.